Hi, welcome to our Mother's Extravaganza. I'm super excited about these webinars. I was asked to have a big event every month, and so I wanted to do something a little different and wanted to take this online so that more people had access to it. So you can see the outline of what we'll be covering today. These will be in 30-minute segments, so you're welcome to stay for the whole time or come back when you see something that you really want to listen to, or you will get the recording if you're registered for the webinar. We'll send that email link to everybody. So we are going to be doing an introduction to essential oils for women and moms. For those of you who are brand new or would like to learn a little bit more, that's what we'll be going through. So to introduce myself, I am Stacy Paulson. I'm a Diamond Wellness Advocate with doTERRA. I've been with the company for 4 years now and just love it. And later on I'll share a little bit more about my story, but I was introduced to the oils by my friend Elise Coyle, who gave me a couple drops for allergies. And I just put that over the bridge of my nose, and within a few minutes my allergies were cleared up. And that was pretty powerful to me. And so that was the beginning of my journey, and I want to welcome Stephanie Garrett. She's here with us. She is an amazing woman, mother of an amazing child who's 11 months old, and his name's Riker. She's happily married, and she is a registered nurse and works in the emergency room. She's been doing that for 4 years, and she also has her bachelor's degree in nursing as well. And as a nurse and being in the healthcare field where medicine is used continuously, she carefully researched the essential oils before trying them, and she's been hooked ever since. So she's going to be helping out, teaching a little bit more about essential oils and how they work and how you can use them in your home. So if you think about all the money that we spend on healthcare, it's a lot of money, $6.5 trillion globally. And if we were to spend that same amount of money on transportation in the United States, it would transform our transportational system. But just with that amount of money, we could build over 2,500 roads around the world every year. Our educational system would be transformed. 85% of the entire United States population could go to a private college every year for free. So how is it working for our health care? We should be ranking number 1 in sick care, and we don't. Of most nations that they've surveyed, we rank really low as far as sick care, because basically our healthcare system is mostly medicine, and so it's created by pharmaceutical companies, and they're prescribed by doctors, and we use them, and oftentimes we get a side effect, and when we get a side effect, we go back and get another prescription, and we get on that cycle of taking a lot of medication. And what is our biggest drug problem? According to the National Institute of Drug Abuse, the biggest and fastest growing part of America's drug problem is prescription drug abuse. And I've seen this, friends, family, this is real. And the truth is that preschool-age children are the fastest-growing age group being prescribed antidepressants. That's crazy. And that was an old study. It's just been recently updated to infants 0 to 2 are the fastest-growing age group. So I love modern medicine. If it weren't for modern medicine, my first child would not be alive today. So I'm grateful for what we have. But I do believe that we overprescribe medication, and that if there is an option that we can use that's safe, that's effective, that I want to try that first before resorting to prescription medication. So we're going to be talking a little bit about modern medicine versus natural medicine, and Stephanie is going to teach us more about the things that we can use.
All right. So, like Stacey was talking about, I am a registered nurse. I have been one for 4 years. I first learned about essential oils. I was on a social media site, and I saw that one of my friends had gotten a doTERRA essential kit, which instantly made me in on it, and I was kind of skeptical. Like I said, I was a nurse, or I am a nurse, and I am around doctors who are constantly prescribing medications for people, and I just see that cycle like she was talking about. You're on one medication, you're prescribed more and more, and the cycle goes on. I researched for about a year. I was reading blogs on social media. I was following different people who were using doTERRA, and I thought, you know what, I need to buy a physician kit. I bought one, and I have not looked back since, and every month I am so excited for my shipment to come in. So we're first going to talk about how essential oils are completely safe. They are extracted from plants. They're very concentrated. They are 50 to 70 times more powerful than herbs. If you take one drop of peppermint oil, which is the picture that's shown, you can just inhale it, and instantly you feel that you feel more awake. It opens your airways, and it's very potent. One drop is equivalent to 28 cups of peppermint tea, which blew my mind. Consistent quality, which doTERRA's essential oils have, was very important to me, especially when using on my child and my family. So now let's talk about the different grades of essential oils. doTERRA's they're called certified pure therapeutic grade. It's the highest quality grade in the world. There are no additives, no fillers. There's nothing synthetic in them, unlike oils that you can buy in certain stores. When you buy oils like that in stores, there are side effects just as if you were taking any type of over-the-counter or prescription medications. And like I said, the consistent quality was what was important to me and my family. And now effectiveness. If you go to a doctor and you're told that you have a virus, most of the time they're just going to tell you, you need to go home, get rest, and drink fluids. When you use essential oils, these oils can penetrate through the cells and they eliminate threats. So the threat inside the cell is considered the virus. And like I said, if you go to the doctors, they're not going to prescribe you any type of antibiotics because that's not going to work on a virus. And you can use the essential oils, and those will go into the cell and they will kill the virus and stop it from spreading. You can also use essential oils for some type of infection instead of an antibiotic, and that's the outer threat that you're seeing. And instead of antibiotics, which eliminate good and bad bacteria, you can use essential oils, which only take away the bad bacteria and keep that good bacteria that our body's needing still. So, like I said, again, these are extremely effective. All right. So let's talk about the cost. Essential oils of doTERRA are very inexpensive. Let's say, for instance, that you have an upset stomach. There's an oil that's called Digest Zen. It is one of my favorites. I was actually just in Hawaii, and we were getting on the plane to go to one of the other islands, and my son started vomiting multiple times in the airport, and thankfully I brought my keychain of small oils with me, and I had Digest Zen, and I just placed one drop, and I mixed it with fractionated coconut oil, rubbed it on his stomach, and he felt better in, a matter of minutes. He wasn't vomiting anymore, and he just improved greatly, and I was so thankful that I had those with me. So cost per drop is 12 cents for the Digest Zen oil. You only need 3 drops, and you can just put that straight onto the stomach, which is where, if you're vomiting or if you're very nauseous or you have any type of pain there. So total cost is 36 cents. I don't think that you can get any type of medication, either prescription or over-the-counter, for anywhere near that cost. Okay. There are 3 different types of ways that you can use essential oils. First is aromatically. What you'll do is you'll just put some of the oils into a diffuser, and there's multiple different reasons that you can use these. I love to use it in my room at night for more restful sleep. I just love the smell as well as it's amazing. I also put it in my son's room and throughout our house. One of the oils is On Guard, just to prevent any type of bacteria that are floating around, or if my son is sick at all, I like to diffuse it in his room. And then the diffuser will break down the oils in an effective way to get into the air, and then that goes straight into our bloodstream when we're inhaling it in. The second way is topically. So you can do essential oils topically either on a targeted specific area. So for instance, if you have a migraine, you can use peppermint. You can rub it on your hands and put it directly on your temples and on the forehead and even the back of your neck. Or like the picture that you see here, you can put it on a baby's feet or anyone's feet, really. You can either put it on the feet, and why we like to use the bottom of the feet are it's the largest pores, and the oils get into the bloodstream in 30 seconds, which is insane to me. And like I said, you can also apply it to specific areas. So like digestion, which we talked about before, you can put that straight onto the stomach and it will help with any type of stomach pain, nausea, or vomiting. And the last way is internally. I was kind of feeling funky about this and skeptical in the way of how could you put an oil into your body internally? A lot of people don't think that you can, but you actually, because of the certified pure therapeutic grade, you're able to put these internally into you. There's a lot of different reasons for why you can. We have some oils, they're citrus oils. Citrus oils actually lift mood and can curb sugar cravings and increase your metabolism, which I think is great. There's also On Guard, which you can see in the picture here, and it prevents you from getting sick. It's kind of like a preventative. So all three of these ways are great, and I have one other experience with my husband when I first brought these home, and I was testing them and smelling all of them and looking at my book, which I'll talk about in a second, for using them. He just looked at me like, you're crazy. I don't know why you're doing this. This is uncalled for. You're a nurse. We should be using medicine. And I said, tell me something that you need these for. And he needed them for his wrist. He worked in law enforcement, and his wrist was really weak. He wasn't able to open the doors. He was getting really just frustrated because he thought that he was going to have to go to a doctor or, go on disability, which he was not looking forward to because he was new into the job. And I put Deep Blue, which is an oil. I rubbed it on consistently twice a day, and within a week, he was like, oh my goodness, you know what? I don't even have any type of weakness. I don't have pain or anything in my wrist. So he finally got on board and is totally hooked to these oils now. So becoming an essential oil expert is very easy. You have a kit with a set of oils, and you take this Modern Essentials oil book. You look up exactly what it is that you're in need of curing or helping with, and that book will list the way that you'll use it and the number one oils that you should use for it. A lifesaver, and I love it.
Yeah, that book, when I first got my kit, and I think it's called a premium kit. So there's a good chunk of oils in there, and half of them I had no idea what to do with. But being able to look them up, being able to just look them up. I don't have a degree in nursing, or I'm not a doctor. I'm a mom. At the time I was a mom of 4, and it was the easiest thing for me to be able to open my book, find an oil for something, open my cupboard, pull it out, and put it on, or smell it, or take it internally. It was really easy to become an expert. Thank you, Stephanie, for sharing that with us. I just want to share a few examples and some other things that you want to think about as far as wellness and what you can do for your family. This was my son a couple of weeks ago. He was in a bicycle accident where he was heading down a hill. His bike tire got stuck and ended up flying off of it. And his face hit first. So you can see the picture by picture through the days of what we did, and we just used lavender, melaleuca, and frankincense. And I put it in a roller bottle, and I was just applying it 3 times a day. And you can see the inflammation, his eyes swollen shut, and then the next day how it started scabbing over and still a lot of inflammation. But we kept applying it, and you can see within less than 7 days, his face was totally cleared up. His shoulder, which you can see in this picture up here, the morning before, it doesn't even look as bad as his face, yet we only applied it a couple of times at the beginning, and then I totally forgot about his shoulder, and it was still clearing up. So you see how effective they are, and it was really empowering as a mom to be able to have those things right on hand that I could help him with. So there are 3 steps to optimal health. It's not just, I have an oil and now I'm all better. But there are things that we need to do as far as common sense and having a wellness lifestyle. And those are having proper nutrition, making sure that we're cleansing and taking care of our digestion, and also avoiding toxins. So proper nutrition. Most of us know we should eat vegetables and fruits and those hamburgers aren't so good for us, but it's often hard to get all the nutrients that we need. Even if we're eating a great diet, the nutrient content within food is not the same today as it was, 10, 20 years ago. So doTERRA has an amazing supplement, which we will talk about a lot more in the next segment, in the nutrition segment, as well as in the labor and delivery segment, actually through all of it. So I'm not going to cover a lot of it, but these are my favorite product and has really changed my life and my health within my family. So it's an easy way to be able to take these supplements and get the proper nutrition that we need and supplement what we're eating. They really help with inflammation. I don't know if you've ever felt like this, lack of energy, ever felt a little depressed, had mood swings, haven't had any pain, but this is really what they help with, reducing our pain, our inflammation, helping manage our moods better, and giving more energy. And that's what I've experienced. And you can find a lot more information on Discover Natural Solutions if you want to research those more. The second step is cleansing and proper, taking care of your digestive system, because 60 to 85% of our immune system is contained within our gut. And so if you want to be healthy, be aware of the things that you're putting in to your stomach, and how you're taking care of your digestive system will affect your overall health. And there's more neurotransmitters within our digestive system than within our brain. And that's really the communication center with our whole body and being able to function properly. And so cleansing is an amazing thing that we can do for our body. And the GX Assist and PB Assist are wonderful products. GX Assist has different oils in there and caprylic acid, which you take it for 10 days, and it's a milder cleanse, and then after those 10 days, you follow up with the PB Assist, which is a probiotic, and it helps to replenish the good flora within your gut. Lemon oil is a really easy thing that you can do. You just put it in your water and you drink it throughout the day. That's just what we do as a family now. And then Zendocrine is a great supplement that you can take that helps to clear your elimination organs, like your lungs, your kidney, your skin, your liver, to be able to properly get rid of toxins that we are exposed to. And which brings me to the third step, is to avoid toxins as much as possible. Be aware of the things that are in your home that you are exposing yourself to. One of the ways that we take in toxins is in the bathtub, in the shower, when our pores are open. So if we're putting on chemicals that are in our shampoos, in our soaps, in our lotions, makeup, that type of thing, it's not good for us, and over time it can build up. So being aware of those things, doTERRA has some great products that help us to eliminate some of those toxins, as far as shampoo, toothpaste, laundry detergent, cleaning products. I love all of them, but it also helps to bring awareness of other ways that we can help to eliminate things, have better wellness throughout our. So how do I get started? Stephanie talks about, the different ways that we use them, having a book that's essential, or the website eeoils.me is a good online resource. But most people, what they do is they choose an essential oil kit just based on whatever their needs are. And then the following months, they will do the Lifelong Vitality, making sure that they're giving their body what it needs as far as nutrition, and start eliminating things that aren't so good for them and doing a cleanse. So they have kits that range in different sizes depending on your needs. They range from a family physician kit that's $150 to the Diamond Kit, which is $2,400, and it contains everything that doTERRA offers. I first got, it's almost like the Natural Solutions Kit here. It's called the Premium Kit, and it was a big chunk of oils and a diffuser, and I wanted to make sure that I got those. And so I would advise you to take a look at those. Discover Natural Solutions. That's my team website, and you can look on there and just see the different kits in more detail. Also talk to the person that invited you to the webinar if you have questions about those. But I want to bring your attention to something that's absolutely fabulous that will save you a lot of money. When you purchase a kit, it says up here you get a free wholesale membership. And what that means is you get to order at the wholesale price. Whenever you run out of something, you can just go online with your membership, log in, and order what you want. It's 25% discount, which adds up over time. But in addition to that wholesale discount, if you see here, as you use, it's called the Loyalty Rewards Program. It's just a way of repurchasing product. If you use that program, you start out your first 1 to 3 months, you earn 10% back. So you add that to your 25%. So you're at 35% in total savings and product credits that you get. You get free product with those credits that you earn. And you work up after a year, you're at 30% back on every purchase that you make. You get 30% in points that you redeem for free product. So your 30% plus your 25%, you're at over, it's a greater discount than wholesale. So this is how I purchase my oils, and I recommend that that's what everyone does. And so you can look more into those things if you don't have a kit yet or don't have a membership. And there's really 3 ways to get involved with doTERRA. And the majority of people, how they get involved is they want to reinvent their own health care. So when I first was exposed to the oils, it was for allergies, but that wasn't my biggest concern. I was on allergy medication, but it was working for me. I didn't like some of the side effects, but I had some other health issues that I was really concerned about. And I thought, well, if it worked for allergies, was there something that could help with my other health concerns? And so that's really why I joined and got my membership, got my set of oils, is because I wanted to find natural solutions for the problems that I was having within my family. And that's really what I discovered. That's what I found, was that these worked. They worked amazing, and they were cost effective. And after using them and seeing the experiences that we were having, I just naturally wanted to help other people as I saw that there was a need, if there was somebody with a back pain, or another mom that was struggling with migraines, which I had had, and being able to help them out. So I was sharing with people. And so that's another way that we can get involved. People will host classes, host a webinar, just share samples with others and help them to know where they can get more information. And then there's others like myself who wanted to also reinvent not only my physical and emotional health and the way we took care of things, but also our financial health, creating a residual income doing something that I love and with people that I love. So these webinars have been set up so that people within my team are able to share their amazing gifts and talents with you. With your membership, not only do you get access to some wonderful symposiums that will help you to learn more of different areas that you might be interested in, mood management, pain management, if you have skin issues, hormone issues, that with a membership that comes along with it. And also there is a way for you to get a free Modern Essentials book. So the additional support that you get and how you get started, number one, contact the person who invited you to this webinar. If you have any questions, ask them. They will know how to get the answers if they don't know it themselves. Also, discovernaturalsolutions.com is a great resource that you can go to learn more about essential oils. We also have a Facebook group. If you look at Discover Natural Solutions, you can post your questions, comments, experiences that you've had there. So that's very helpful. And then for those who want to join us in sharing and helping others, we have a team website. It's called simplybuildwellness.com. And you can go there for additional support and training. And then number 5 is make sure that you have your starter kit with the products that your family needs so that you can start reinventing your healthcare. Let me check what time it is. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get ready for our next segment. If you have questions, the place you'll want to post them is on our Discover Natural Solutions Facebook group. You can go ahead and request to be added to that, or we have a Facebook page that you can post questions and that we're monitoring and we can answer those. Also, for those who wanted to enter the drawing, anybody that registers is entered to win our Mother's Day kit, which there's a tray of oils and a lotion that comes with that, and we will do that on Monday. We also, for the drawing, for anyone who posts comments from the segments that they watch, will be entered into other drawings that we're going to be having, and those will be drawn on Monday, and everyone will be contacted then. I also want to let you know that there will be a special drawing in our last segment about our network of women, because I want everybody on that to see what we are doing, where we're going, and how you can receive help and support and also contribute as a woman, as a mother, with the gifts and talents that you have. So I invite you to come to that, and if you have any questions, go ahead and post them on our Facebook group or page. So let's go ahead and switch over. to our next segment. Have any comments there? Oh, we are actually doing it on here. I'm excited for our next segment coming up with Fayette. Thank you, Stephanie, for being on with us. Appreciate your help. Next presentation. And while I'm loading this, if anybody does have any questions or comments, you're welcome to post them in the chat box now because I can see it. Chat box is up. During the presentation, just so you're aware, I can see we have a few people on here. If you have any questions, I can see the chat box now, and so if you have things as far as nutrition and oils for pregnancy and fertility, go ahead and post them there. I can chat back and forth with you, or we can ask Faye after she gets on. Faye, are you on the webinar?
I am here. Good morning.
Fantastic. Very good. I think we're all set up. For those who are just joining us, we just barely had our intro to essential oils for women and moms. If you missed that, you can go ahead and catch the recording of it. It'll be sent to you out by email, and we'll be posting that as well. You can see coming up after our nutrition and oils segment, we will have our pre-labor, labor, and delivery with the fabulous midwife. She's had over 20 years of experience with essential oils. And so that's very unique. Also, we'll be talking about postpartum, lactation, newborn and toddler care, and teen stuff. So super excited. We have a couple of questions here. Oils to help with ovulation and get regular cycles. Okay, and I've been using vetiver for cramps and PMS, and it is amazing. Yay, vetiver, that's a new one. Thanks for sharing that. Hopefully that can help some other people. So, now we're a couple minutes early, but I'm excited to hear from Faith. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So just introductions again for those who are joining live. My name is Stacey Paulson, and I'm a Diamond Wellness Advocate with doTERRA. I've been with the company for 4 years, and I joined, or before doTERRA, I had a lot of health issues with sinus infections, migraines. We were having miscarriages, and I joined doTERRA because I wanted solutions for those. I had found some oils that helped with allergies, and so I thought maybe there's something that will help with my other health issues, and that's really what I found. Within a few months, we were expecting. My migraines have gone away. My sinus infections went away, and so I really saw the benefits of using the essential oils. And now I love being able to help and empower others. One of these wonderful people that I've been able to come in contact with because of doTERRA is Fayette. She is absolutely amazing. She has a master's degree in nutrition from Cal State Northridge, where my husband's going to teach. I'm super excited. So she has a master's degree in nutrition. She also did additional training as a health and wellness coach from the Institute for Integrative Nutrition, and they have an amazing program that helped her to study different dietary theories, practical lifestyle management techniques, and innovative coaching methods with some of the world's top health and wellness experts. So we are quite privileged to be able to have Faye on the line with us. Right now she's teaching nutrition at a community college and has a wellness coaching practice as well, so she's a busy lady. And she joined doTERRA hoping the essential oils would provide a safe and effective way to manage her family's health needs, including stress and sleeping issues. And she really found that with them. I know from some experiences, maybe she'll share, I don't know, as well as being able to provide a supplemental income by providing products to her coaching clients that were effective and they were safe and that were cost effective for them. So doTERRA has given her so many things, empowered her family and other people's families, and her goal is to help facilitate a revolution. And you will feel this from her. She wants to create a revolution that will change the way that we approach healthcare in this country and in the world. And I want to help, she says, I want to help as many people as possible be happier, healthier, and financially free. So welcome, Faye, and we will get started with this awesome portion.
Thank you so much, Stacy. I'm so excited. I get to talk about 3 things I love: nutrition, essential oils, and pregnancy. And that's my happy family there. My husband and our 4 beautiful children that range in age from 16 to 30. And I can say they were all born at home with a midwife. And so not only do I have the educational background, but also the personal experience to go with this. And pregnancy is just so dear to my heart. And I love empowering women to have the best possible outcome. So let's get started. You know that saying, you are what you eat? Well, with pregnancy, you and your baby are what you eat. And everyone needs the same nutrients. It's just in different amounts depending on what stage of life you're in. And people often think that food choices are just personal. Well, you know, it's what I like. That's just me. But now with moms, we have to think also of our baby. And for women who are pregnant or soon to be, nutrition choices greatly affect the outcome of her birth and also the health of her baby. Babies don't just grow automatically. It's a myth that babies will get all the nutrients that they need from their mother, regardless of what the mom is eating. And unfortunately, complications can occur from nutritional deficiencies. Something as simple as infection that turns into, say, pneumonia or respiratory infection. Also, poor wound healing can be directly related to nutritional status. Anemia, low birth weight, hypertension and toxemia, all the way up to premature birth and stillbirth. So by really paying attention to what we're eating during pregnancy, we can really make a difference in the outcome of the birth. But a healthy pregnancy actually starts before conception. And it's really important to establish good eating habits. A woman needs to establish good eating habits before she even becomes pregnant so that at the time of conception, she's well nourished. Studies have shown that the nutritional status of the mom at the time of conception can actually alter the baby's genes. And what happens is, depending on what nutrients are around at the time the egg gets fertilized, it will cause certain genes to get turned on or turned off. And not only does that affect the developing baby, but it can affect that child throughout its life because the genetic material has now been predisposed to certain diseases or problems later. Nutritional status can also affect being able to conceive, or even can cause problems with carrying the pregnancy to term, as well as the embryonic development. Now, guys are not off the hook. Eating and lifestyle habits can affect the baby. We found that for fathers-to-be, a sedentary lifestyle and a low intake of fruits and vegetables can affect a man's fertility. And also, alcohol and exposure to other toxins in the weeks before conception can cause damage to the genetic material of the sperm. So the outcome of the birth is really a combination of the mom and the dad. some other problems that can arise, and often we find that with cleansing, we can actually help increase fertility. Something called candida, which is yeast. A yeast overgrowth can interfere with hormone production and make it more difficult for women to be able to get pregnant. And Stace, I know you had some issues with getting pregnant after your fourth child. Do you want to share a little bit of what you did?
Yeah, so we had 4 healthy children. The fourth one was kind of difficult as well, getting him there. But after the fourth, we kept having miscarriages. And I just knew that there was another baby that was supposed to be a part of our family. And so I didn't want to go with doctors and testing and drugs. And so I did a lot of research. And I found that from what I thought I had was candida. And so I found that there were certain oils that could help with that. And also changing my diet, and today we'll talk a little bit more about diet, but changing my diet some, and I took those oils that were listed there, the peppermint, lemon, oregano, melillica, lemon, and thyme, and I put them in a capsule. And I also took caprylic acid, but doterra has some pre-made, the GX Assist, and I started taking that capsule twice a day. And I didn't know that there was a protocol for this, but there's actually a protocol that you can take that helps to cleanse the yeast from your body. And so I was doing that, and then then after that I got my kit of oils, and I started using the Lifelong Vitality, really pumping my body with nutrients that it needed. And within 6 weeks of starting the Lifelong Vitality, I had been doing the cleansing for a couple of months. But as soon as I started Lifelong Vitality, it was 6 weeks after that we were expecting, had a healthy baby pregnancy, and we had been trying for almost 4 years, and that consistent problem kept going. And I just had all the signs and symptoms of candida. So I self-researched, and that's what I found.
That's awesome. Thank you. And yes, it is something to do before pregnancy. We'll talk about some other things that can be done after pregnancy, but the GX and the PB Assist is wonderful for that. Thank you for sharing. And it really brings us to the point of how important it is when pregnant to really start thinking about internally instead of externally. And the nutrient demands are just extraordinary during pregnancy. And as beautiful the process, it still is a stress. And the nutritional stress increases as the pregnancy progresses, all the way up until the end, and actually after, including lactation. In early pregnancy, often before a woman even realizes that she's pregnant, the embryo undergoes rapid and significant changes that depends on good nutrition. The whole process is just so amazing to think about how from the start of an egg and a sperm, the fertilized egg, it starts to multiply rapidly before even woman, even realizes that she's pregnant. So this is why it's so important to have good nutrition before becoming pregnant. Out of this ball of cells, basically, the embryo starts to develop and the placenta starts to form. And there's major changes that are taking place. The formation, implantation, and growth of the placenta needs to occur so that the baby can receive all the nutrients it needs. The mom's blood volume expands to about 60% more than pre-pregnancy. Also, there's a huge demand that's placed on the liver because of all the hormones that are being created, and also because of the waste products, extra waste products that need to be filtered out. And the fetal growth and development of the baby is just miraculous. We'll see this top right picture. That's an embryo at about 8 weeks. And already the central nervous system is completely formed. There's a functioning, beating heart, and the digestive tract has already been formed. And then for the next 7 months, it's just amazing. The baby grows 50 times heavier and 20 times longer. And so again, it's so important for the mother to have nutrient stores that are needed for fetal development because there's critical periods of time in pregnancy. And if those nutrients aren't there, no matter how many nutrients are provided later on in the pregnancy, it can't make up for the deficiencies at those critical periods. So what does a pregnant mom need? Well, actually, all nutrients are needed in greater amounts. And the best way to think of this is really just to eat a nutrient-dense diet. So what does that mean? Think in terms of whole, fresh, plant-based diet with lots of veggies, especially dark green leafy vegetables, fruits, whole grains, nuts, seeds, legumes, lean meats, and healthy fats. And all these healthy nutrients over here add up to a healthy pregnancy. And anything missing could end up with a deficiency and affect the normal development of the fetus. And over here, so as we're bringing in all this good stuff, think in terms of crowding out the unhealthy nutrients. Things like processed and packaged foods need to be cut down or eliminated. That's a really big source of sugar and salt in our diet. Also alcohol, tobacco, sodas and sweetened beverages, artificial sweeteners, snack foods, pastries, candies, white flour, white bread, white pasta, white rice, all that stuff that often can be difficult to decrease. But if you think in terms of bringing in the healthy, nutrient dense, it will actually help to just crowd out the other foods that we don't need. And one thing that I like to use is Slim and Sassy Metabolic Blend to help decrease cravings for sweets and carbs. And it also helps to balance blood sugar. It's made up of 5 different essential oils: lemon, grapefruit, peppermint, ginger, and cinnamon. And all those together just help reduce that sweet craving. It's great. So some specific nutrients that are actually needed in higher amounts. One is calories. Overall calorie need does increase. However, if you're focusing on nutrient-dense food, you can really trust your appetite. And we really encourage women to eat when they're hungry, but choose high nutrient content foods, and they'll be fine. Also, some other things: protein. About 80 to 100 grams of protein are needed. So anywhere from about 50 to 100% more protein than non-pregnant. Instead of counting calories or counting protein, think in terms of just the types of foods you're choosing. And also for protein, make sure you're having protein at every meal and also with a snack. And this can be not only animal protein, but plant protein as well. Legumes are a wonderful source. Beans, lentils, peas, and also nuts and seeds. And then also omega-3 fatty acids, folate and B12, vitamin D and calcium, vitamin C, and also iron and zinc. But the good thing is that the nutrient absorption during pregnancy increases, and the nutrient loss is actually minimized. So we have a higher absorption rate, which helps us. And the other thing we don't want to forget about, of course, is water, and lots of water. A really nice thing to add is any of the citrus oils, like lemon or wild orange or grapefruit, and they act as a natural antioxidant and also detoxifier. And the other thing that I really like about it is it helps to balance the acidity. It is a natural alkalizer. So this will help with mineralizing the bones and helping to keep the nutrients in the body. Now, one of the first ways that a mom can care for herself during pregnancy is through nutrition. And I like to think of this as really the earliest form of mothering. And so one of the best ways to ensure that she's getting all the nutrients that she needs is with doTERRA Lifelong Vitality Supplements. As we talked about in the previous segment, these are a whole food-based supplement that helps fill in all those gaps that can be a challenge to get given our lifestyle, our food production, stress, pollution, not having time, all those types of things. So whole nutrition is really important, but a really nice safeguard is actually also having a whole food supplement. The body can assimilate these like food. And what most women experience are more energy, more stamina, less aches and pains, fewer mood swings, and less anxiety. And often we experience shorter labors as well. And Stacey, I know that this became one of the foundations for your last two pregnancies. Is that right?
Yeah, well, sort of. So I started taking Lifelong Vitality, and as soon as I was pregnant, I went to a doctor, and they put me on a prenatal vitamin. So I stopped taking Lifelong Vitality for pregnancy number 5. I was so nauseous. I was so tired. I was so sick. I was depressed. It was a miserable 9 months. As I learned more, because I was just new to doTERRA, as I learned more and researched, I learned that the Lifelong Vitality was amazing. And I've taken them to several doctors, and others have done the same thing. These are an amazing supplement during pregnancy. So my number 6 was completely different. Most of my team was around me when I was pregnant, my last one, and I had energy, focus. I felt good. Pain, joint aches, especially sleeping, was completely different, and you would think with being older and number 6 that it would get worse, and it was a great experience. So I recommend these to everybody. I mean, it was great.
Yeah, and I know one of the concerns with these is the folic acid level or the folate level, but that's not really a concern because the way that these are absorbed in the body and actually utilized, the amount that is in there is completely the right amount for the growing baby. The other thing to think about is also proper digestion of the food, and so the Terrazyme enzyme complex really is a good support for healthy digestion and absorption. Not only is food and what you're putting in the body really important, but you have to remember to reduce your toxic load. And these are things not only like food additives and artificial sweeteners, herbicides and pesticides, but also cleaning compounds and also personal care products, as well as over-the-counter drugs and prescription medications. And it's interesting, I found that a study showed that pregnant women in the U.S. ingest 10 to 14 drugs per pregnancy, and more than half of them are being prescribed by doctors for such things as sleep or nausea, constipation, edema. And the problem with these synthetic medications is the side effects. And so again, I love the fact that we have these natural solutions that are safe, they're made from plants, they're pure, they're effective, and they're pennies per dose. So with that, how can we help manage some of the complications or discomforts that arise from pregnancy? And again, we have so many different products that we can use. We talked about cleansing before pregnancy to help with fertility. An issue that arises during pregnancy often is yeast overgrowth. And I wouldn't recommend the GX Assist. It's too harsh. But there are some oils that you can use, and you see them right here. 3 drops of melaleuca, lemon, and thyme can help keep the yeast in check, and then follow up with the PB Assist, which is our probiotics that are time-released and double encapsulated, so that the good bacteria can repopulate both the upper and the lower GI. Some other issues that might come up, especially in like the first trimester, is breast tenderness because of all the hormonal changes. Our Clary Calm, which is great for balancing hormones, can be applied right to the breast. Sometimes the increase in blood volume and the fluid that accumulates can be managed with grapefruit. And again, just apply it directly on the breast. Some other things like healthy elimination. All the changes going on in the body as the baby's getting bigger, pressing and squishing all those internal organs. So a safeguard, drink lots and lots of water and put lemon in the water. It will actually help with elimination. Eat lots of high fiber foods like vegetables and fruits. And then I love digestin or peppermint and ginger is a great combination for helping with that. Mood, lots of changes going on, and it's normal to have mood swings. Again, our lifelong vitality really helps with stabilizing mood, as well as omega-3 fatty acids and fresh fruits and vegetables. And then our mood management oils like citrus bliss or balance, elevation. And Stacey, anytime along the way here, if you want to jump in with any of these products that you've used to help you through your last couple of pregnancies, please share. I don't know, with mood, if that was a problem, or I know with circulation, you were telling me that was a concern. What was going on?
So, that's a normal thing as you get later in pregnancy, your ankles swell, that edema. And I was going on a cruise, a doterra cruise, and so we had to fly to Florida and then get on the cruise. And I was good on the flight there, but it was the flight on the way back. I don't know, from being on a cruise, the weather. I had swollen up, but I had prepared myself. I had put, there's a blend that you can create with different oils that if you have, it's called Essential Oils for Pregnancy, Birth, and Babies by Stephanie Fritz. She lists it in there. And so I just put those together in a roller bottle, and I was just rolling it on. And I could feel, I don't know if people know, but I could feel that it took away that swelling and that achiness, the painfulness of it. And by the time we got close to being done, like, my edema was much better. Of course, I'm a little swollen all the time when I'm pregnant, but it was a lot better.
So a couple of other things that really help with circulation is keeping the liver healthy. So using the lemon in the water helps naturally to detoxify the liver, and also getting enough protein. Fatigue can become an issue, having enough energy. And again, using the lifelong vitality and also paying attention to eating nutrient-dense foods. And then I love what I call my peppermint wow, which is peppermint and wild orange mixed together, a few drops in the palm of the hand, and then inhale. And it's just such a nice pick-me-up and mood elevator. And elevation is also a really nice one too. So it's really nice whenever you're feeling a little low, need a little pick-me-up, just take a few drops, inhale, and on you go. A few other concerns, migraines, head tension, the past tense or peppermint and lavender applied to the temples and also the forehead and back of the neck is a great way to alleviate that. And a lot of women find that when they once used to get frequent migraines or headaches, with improved diet and using the lifelong vitality, the problem actually goes away or is a lot less frequent. Who doesn't experience morning sickness, nausea, heartburn during pregnancy? Again, though, and Stacey, was that an issue for you, especially in the beginning?
So yeah, I was living on peppermint beadlet. So they come in a beadlet form. Whoa, what a blessing! But I just had them all the time. I was just constantly popping them. I was able to survive convention with doTERRA through that, and a lot of other things that I needed to be functional for. Completely different experience from the first 5 pregnancies. So this last one using the peppermint for the nausea, and then also I think because of the lifelong vitality, I didn't have heartburn, and all the other ones I did. I did not have any heartburn. The first 4, I used lots of Tums, which I know now is not good. But, yeah, I didn't even have heartburn.
And that's the beauty of this. With the combination of the oils and good nutrition, it's amazing the different experience that you can have. And that goes with joint pain and muscle soreness also, that with the products that we have and using the supplements and good nutrition, even though our bodies are going through so many changes during the pregnancy, we can support it. And now it's not a problem. It's just what our bodies are going through. And even stretch marks and varicose veins are not a given. Proper nutrition, the Z-omegas within the Lifelong Vitality are amazing for helping our skin stay supple and be able to stretch like it's supposed to. And also applying Immortelle, which is a roll-on bottle, which is so easy to just roll over your tummy and rub it in. So we have all these great tools available. So with the proper information and the right tools, every mom can be empowered to take control of the 2 most important factors that determine a healthy outcome in pregnancy: her daily diet and what chemicals go into her body. And I love this picture. This woman's name is Leanne Ellison, and she had a whole spread in a news segment on CBS. And she said, "I've been CrossFitting for 2.5 years and strongly believe that pregnancy is not an illness, but a time to relish your body's capabilities. Birth is not an illness. It's a normal part of a woman's cycle, and we all need to relish it and take the best care possible, not only for the pregnancy and the birth, but that empowerment carries through to our mothering." Thank you so much, and I challenge you to become empowered and take control.
Thank you so much, Faye. This has been a really great webinar. I appreciate all your help. That should be Jessica Moultrie up there crossfitting. Do you want to have another baby? I see you're on. So just for those who are new to essential oils, if you didn't catch the intro to essential oils, you'll get the replay of that. You can also go to discoverynaturalsolutions.com and you can find more information about essential oils. For anyone who is referred by someone else, contact them, ask them tons of questions. The one thing that you'll want to get is a kit of oils. You want to get your set, and they have some awesome sets that are put together for you, and you can get a wholesale account, so you get a really good price for the essential oils. And with that comes a membership, and you become part of our wonderful network of women that love to support each other and help each other out. So that's coming up next. Our next segment we're going to switch over is our pre-labor, labor, and delivery. We have a midwife that's going to be helping us out with that one. So let me just switch over the slides for her. Just give me a second. If you have any questions on there, I see some. No, Jessica's not having another baby. Okay. Yeah, so if you have questions, you can put them in the chat box for right now. What's the next one? Okay. There. Thank you, everybody. Okay, so our next segment, I don't know if Roxana, are you on?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Welcome,
Oh,
welcome. Let me just, I'm going to give an intro, and then I'm going to let you take it away. This is going to be an awesome segment. She has so much experience. So in this segment, she has awesome things to cover. At the end, if there's time, we will open it up for questions, and you can *6 to unmute yourself and ask a question. If we don't have enough time, then you'll just want to post them either in the chat box or on Discover Natural Solutions Facebook group page, and we can answer those there or get the answers from Roxana later, and we'll send those out. So just introduction of Roxana. She was recommended to me by a friend. She said, oh, I have the perfect person that could do this segment. And she has been attending births and playing midwifery for nearly 20 years, as well as using essential oils for 20 years. And she's been loyal to doTERRA since 2012. So midwifery to her is about the strength of women and the beauty of birth. And she has been married for almost 25 years and has 3 book-loving girls, all born at home. And I searched on her Facebook page, and there were a couple of comments on there that caught my eye. One said, Roxana is, well, simply God's gift to women. And the other one said, Roxana is a queen, doing exactly what women are born to do, support each other, share knowledge, and heal. Love you. So that says great things about you. I'm going to turn the time over to you to teach us, educate us on this part of that journey.
Well, thank you so much, Stacey. I'm really grateful for this opportunity, especially to sit down and focus my mind into putting this down into paper and words. Yes, I absolutely love midwifery. I love oils. I love empowering women to listen and follow their body's intuition. Really quick, I'll tell you what today's training is. It'll be a sharing of my clinical experiences, both as primary midwife and as attendant or doula. And then the other thing is to share the wonders of the gifts that we all have in the doTERRA oils. This is not a presentation of how we're diagnosing or curing anything. And as always, anything we discuss here, if you have any concerns, go and talk to your primary care provider about it. With that disclosure being said, and I know you guys have covered a lot of this already, so I'll just briefly glance over it. The certified pure therapeutic grade, the CPTG label, is what I love about doTERRA. What you put on you, you put in you. And several years or a couple years ago, they were trying to get into Taiwan, and Taiwan had no desire to allow doTERRA in because we claim that they can be taken internally. Well, after the doTERRA team went to Taiwan to show them our oils, Taiwan came back with a statement saying, essential oils are still not for internal use unless they're doTERRA. And I think that has a lot to say when I'm using them on moms and babies. I use them abundantly. I use them readily, and all the wonderful results that my clients get. That picture that you see now with the lavender, lemon, and peppermint oil, it's a gift that I give most of my clients, that little intro pack, because with those 3 oils, we can do a ton of good work. And we'll cover that as we go along. But oftentimes when my clients call and they're like, so what do I do for this? I'll go, remember that lavender oil? Remember that lemon oil? Remember that peppermint oil? This is how you're going to use it. So coming on to the next slide, the gift of lifelong vitality. I really appreciated catching the last few minutes of the last topic on nutrition. I love what Dr. Hill says. Oils are as effective as nutrition, and it's part of what really cinched me being a part of doTERRA was the lifelong vitality pack. Some of the things that women are saying is that they have more energy, less nausea, mental clarity, better sleep, less aches, less sugar cravings. And the list really does go on and on. E-omega, oftentimes with pregnant women, I will have them take an extra E-omega and while they're pregnant, because that is just really good for the baby's brain development. And that's all I'll say about that. 9 months and beyond. That's basically what we're going to cover, the meat of this presentation. Pregnancy, delivery, postpartum for moms and babies, and I do separate them. So the pregnancy, that sweet mama, for those of you that have experienced that, I know you guys just finished touching on how peppermint oil is an amazing gift to use when you're pregnant and you're dealing with nausea or the morning sickness. Excuse me. peppermint oil on the pulse points behind your neck, breathing it, diffusing it, are all wonderful ways to use peppermint. Ginger is another one, and I think that's part of why I love Lifelong Vitality for pregnant women, is because those oils are part of that Lifelong Vitality pack. Sore muscles. Oh my goodness. For those of you that have dealt with sciatica or hip pain, my moms really love using Deep Blue. That's their first go-to. Other times they'll use white fur. Sometimes internally, they'll take a drop of rosemary and frankincense, and that kind of gives the whole body like almost like an Advil effect. So for the sore muscles, again, going back to Lifelong Vitality, because it supports the body, so the muscles are going to be less sore. I love that. The puffiness is another issue I find a lot with clients, especially this time of year. I had 3 women in 3 days call me all about their puffy legs as they've been taking these trips and their puffy ankles. Tangerine oil rubbed on the bottom of your feet with a little bit of lemon, 5 drops of lemon in a quart of water in a mason jar, right? Really helps to support that. I do also stress a lot of nutrition with my clients. Those are the oils that I use. The lemon oil is very supportive of the kidneys and the liver. I do have them when they're dealing with a lot of puffiness, and I'm talking about regular puffiness. I'm not talking about the puffiness that leads into preeclampsia, although this definitely does help that. But the lemon oil mixed with lemon juice straight from a lemon really has a synergistic effect and bumps it up to the next level. Back to Dr. Hill's comment about how your oils are as effective as your nutrition. So combining it with real food really kicks that lemon oil up to the next level. The wave, for those of you that are looking at that word going, what the heck is a wave prior to 37 weeks? It's the new politically correct term for contractions. So contractions prior to 37 weeks, or waves, as I prefer to call them, those we really want to do what we can to stop them. Lifelong Vitality is a major support. When your body has the proper nutrition, like was discussed in the previous presentation, your body can carry your baby better. And oftentimes I know at 37 weeks, moms are so tired, and they want to be done being pregnant. And so they're like, ooh, I'm going to have a baby early. I love research that comes out of Canada and the UK because they really understand prevention. And one of the things that came from one of those study groups was that baby's brain development matures between 39 and 41 weeks. So if you want your babies as smart as possible, then we work on getting to the 39 to 41 week mark. By the way, in Canada, women are not considered overdue till they're 41 weeks. So that's a new perspective on things for some. So the labor waves we'll use back to the trilogy, right? I'll have them start drinking the lemon water so that they're hydrated. Number 2, I'll have them take 10 to 15 drops of the lavender oil and mix it in with 2 cups of Epsom salts. And that gets combined and mixed together, and then they put it into the bathtub. And they'll soak in that combination for 20 to 30 minutes. And that magnesium and that lavender really work synergistically together to calm those contractions down. And so once the moms get to 37 weeks, then I tell them that they're going into preparatory labor, meaning that all those nights where you're contracting, and you wake up in the morning and there's no baby, your body's preparing to give birth. In that time, using Clary Sage on your feet or using Solace, in all honesty, I usually don't use those till the moms get to 39 weeks. I want babies to have every possible support that they can get. And those 2 oils, Clary Sage and Solace, have a tendency of creating a few more contractions for moms. I know a lot of times they say don't use those oils in pregnancy. I do have moms that crave those oils in their pregnancy, and the way I see it is that it's a hormonal support. If they start contracting more with those oils, then we make sure they're hydrated with the lemon water, make sure that they're taking their vitamins to do the lifelong vitality. And if those things are in place, then we pull that. We remove the solus or we remove the clary stage until they hit the 38, 39-week mark. And then it becomes a hormonal support for labor, in preparation for labor. So that preparatory labor, other oils that I really love is frankincense. Balance, oh my gosh, balance on the mom's feet. We know how wonderful balance is. It prepares the body, number one, to receive oils. Number two, balance is really good for centering and honing the entire body system to find a state of homeostasis, a state of balance. And so using the balance, using Aroma Touch, the Aroma Touch oil is really good in support for preparatory labor. And usually what I'll have them do is rub it on their feet and rub it up their legs in an upward motion from the ankles up so that supports the lymphatic system. On their bellies, some moms are like, I'm just not ready to have a baby. Take the lavender oil bath with the Epsom salts. Go and get a good night's sleep after you get out of the bath. For labor and delivery, coming on to the next slide, we have a little video. I don't know if we're able to show it. Stacy?
Yes, I'm going to show it right now.
Oh, awesome. Okay. This is a crack up, so. Play. Here's the delivery 101. Everybody pay close attention. Mom's ready to have her baby. The trunk monkey comes out. Dad's like, look, I've got this covered. Mom has the baby. And then the cry of the baby. And the monkey comes in and saves the day. Oils that would be fantastic to have in that situation. So going into labor, I don't know. In home birth, I have the freedom to use as many oils in as many ways as possible. And so I'm going to taper this down more towards the hospital birth. At least if anyone has questions and wants to know more, I'd be happy to answer. But as far as in hospital delivery, I do encourage moms to labor at home for as long as possible. It's a calm environment, and you're able to do more in your own environment. So number one thing that most women complain about in labor is their back. Their back hurts. Again, the white fur, black pepper. I will tell you, I have a hard time using black pepper because it still gets in the back of my throat, but my moms that have used it, that love it, really love it. And sometimes white fur will work more effectively for one, and black pepper will work more effectively for another, so I still keep them in my arsenal. If it was my daughter going into labor, I would pull out my birch. It's that special oil that is kept in reserve for moments like that. Deep blue, oh my goodness. Deep blue is a portable hot pack, right? And so you can place it on the back and massage, put on a hot pack, and it'll help to deeply penetrate into the muscles and give more support. Just the size of a drop of the size of a pea is enough to cover the back most times. Abdominal support. So oftentimes, like the mom that I just worked on a couple nights ago, she was having all of her labor in the front as the baby was coming around the pubic bone. And so we used a deep blue and we used a hot pack, and that helped to give that support. Mental support. Sometimes the anxiety of going into labor gets the best of us. And wild orange is a happy oil. Some moms actually in labor, I find lime or grapefruit are more effective than the wild orange. Citrus Bliss is one of those oils that I save for the end of labor as they start hitting transition. The lime and the grapefruit I use at the beginning to refocus, and I use that in conjunction with balance. So the balance first to get everything in line, and then we'll use the lime oil or the grapefruit oil. Then, if some moms, they start to get a little panicky. In those circumstances, I love Serenity. Lavender oil I do not usually use when a mom is less than 5 centimeters dilated, because that is really effective for calming things down. Once a mom is in active labor and things are clipping along and you can see that we're not going to slow down anymore, that we're actually heading towards a baby, then I'll go ahead and use the Serenity or the lavender. For the wave toning, I see what time we're on. So wave toning, meaning how if a mom's in labor and the contractions are a little erratic, or if she's in transport, some moms get the white coat syndrome, which means they get to the hospital, everything's clipping along, they ask them to sit in the bed, and all of a sudden the mom's labor slows down. And she gets a little anxiety. That's where I love to pull out the clary sage and the Solace oil is wonderful. I'll rub that all over their belly, and I'll just keep rubbing and rubbing and rubbing, and I'll rub that on her heels, and then usually I'll do that for about 20 minutes. I'll do 10 minutes on the belly and 10 minutes on each foot, so we're looking at half hour, 40 minutes total, and that usually clips things along much nicely again. Whisper is another one that I really love to use. Some moms I find are more drawn to Whisper. Some moms I find are more drawn to the Solace. The Whisper oil has, and the other one that I use is Immortelle. The Immortelle has rose oil, and rose oil is very supportive of the emotions through the labor and delivery, and that's how I use it. So I'll just put it over their heart, or I'll rub it over their sacrum on the back side of their hips. Delivery. Grounding oil balance is marvelous. That helps to calm them down. Rub it on their feet. Peppermint sometimes I'll put right on top of the balance, and that kind of refocuses their attention. Topically, goodness gracious, geranium. When I don't have Immortelle to use, I will use geranium. When let's see, the other one that I will use for the emotions is the Whisper. The Whisper has rose oil. It also has a little bit of the cacao in it, and that also helps moms to kind of refocus. In the delivery room, some moms like to diffuse On Guard. Some moms love to diffuse Citrus Bliss or any of the other citrus oils as a support for them. So the labor support blends I see here, beautiful. Ylang ylang. I do use that on occasion. The cypress, oh yes, absolutely the cypress I use. Cypress when moms, especially if they've had a history of previous births that have been a little concerning to them, the cypress helps to release some of those concerns in addition to elevation. If a mom has had a previous traumatic delivery, or if her mom or her friends keep telling them about their traumatic deliveries, elevation is really good. Helichrysum, there's a midwife that says that she likes to use a helichrysum as a perineal massage oil to help stretch the perineum to prevent or minimize tearings, and that's been her experience, and so I'll share that. Essential oils for active labor on the next slide. I see that you've got the clary sage, the geranium, the lavender. Basil I haven't used in labor. Stacey, you want to tell me a little bit about that?
That is what Stephanie Fritz uses as just one of the ones go-to. So I have listed it there. There's so many different ones. I am one of them that's what you're using. We're going to get all the notes. We'll make sure we have notes of this. This is awesome.
Thank you.
The myrrh. Myrrh is another one that I love to use. That one I will use as a midwife. I'll use it. So if I'll use it internally on a mom, like when I'm using it as a vaginal exam. But for a mom that you're not going to do that with, obviously, you can rub it over their navel. And if they've had mother issues or back to women issues and feeling like they have a loss of the sense of control or power, rubbing that myrrh oil right over their navel is really grounding, and I'll have them smell it and breathe it in. Myrrh is one that I love for labor because it is for moms, and for moms postpartum and mother, after birth cramps, back to the deep blue, the white fur, absolutely. Moodiness. So lifelong vitality, take an extra dose of the E-omegas. Immortelle, yes, and geranium. Some moms will need some elevation, or cypress, or what's the other one? The ylang-ylang, I'll use at that time. And jasmine, oh my goodness, jasmine is so wonderful, and it's found in whisper. And so if I don't have jasmine, then I use the whisper as something to help them release with. Sleeplessness, lavender is a big one. Rubbing it on your feet, taking a bath with those Epsom salts again, very calming for the moms and their muscles. You know, you just finished running a marathon and pushing out this little baby, and that Epsom salts and the lavender oil really helps to soothe those muscles. Oftentimes, like if moms get headaches because they're not getting enough sleep, if you put the peppermint oil on the base of your neck and then rub the lavender oil on your sore muscles, or the deep blue. The deep blue I don't usually use right before getting in the water, because for some moms it really intensifies. And so if you want to try it out, I personally love it, but not all my clients do. So if you want to try it out, and the same thing with the white fur, just kind of sample it in your skin before you get in the water. I love it in the water because the water really helps to intensify it, and I love that. Nursing. Digestin is a decongestant, and it helps, and it has fennel in it, and it helps support milk supply. And it also helps being rubbed on the breast if women are having problems with mastitis. And, oh, I don't have the baby. That's okay. I think you're going to be covering that on one of the next ones. So the next slide, ever had one of these moments? And I think we've touched on some of these essential oils to be used for emotional support. But ever have those days after you've been sleep deprived, you're up with a baby all night, and your kids are screaming and demanding attention from you, and your husband's like, "Where's dinner, honey?" And you're like, "It's been lovely, but I have to scream now." I love that. Omegas. The E-omegas, I really can't say enough about them. It's brain support. It is brain food. Taking an extra dose of the vitamins in those circumstances is something I have counseled my clients to do. It's something I'll give to my kids. So the nutritional support is really important. The essential oils, again, elevation, citrus bliss, wild orange, lime, grapefruit, serenity. Just go lock yourself in your bedroom, sit on your bed, rock back and forth, and take these oils and breathe them in. Breathe them in. In Cyprus, some of the wood oils, I also find, especially if there's a history of family issues that we're striving to get over, then the wood oils like Cyprus help. I see that we're almost out of time, so we're going to come to the last slide. Remember, what you put on you, you put inside of you. I love this little picture I found. The life of a mother is the life of a child. You are two blossoms on a single branch. As we use these oils and the vitamins, I can't tell you what a wonderful experience it has been to see these moms feel like I have a new life. I have resources. I don't have to be sick through my pregnancy. I don't have to feel weak and powerless. I can come to my medicine cabinet of essential oils And I have resources that support me, that support my body, and that give my baby a great start. These kids coming down are amazing, and the more we support them, the less problems they're going to have as they're born into this world. The nutrition that you give them and the oils that you use will give them such a great start. Keep going forward and doing good, and thank you for this opportunity, Stacey.
Thanks, Roxana. I sure appreciate everything that I shared. I wish that you were my midwife. Where were you? You fly? Oh, you are amazing. Thank you for sharing those insights and from personal experience. That's what I love, is that you've experienced it with so many different women and using the oils and the supplements. And thank you so much. This will be valuable to many, many people. We'll get it recorded. We'll get you a copy, and everyone will be able to have that. And we'll go ahead and make a list of the things that you've created in here so that there's a handout. Thank you again. Anybody that has questions because of time, just go ahead and post them either in the chat box or on our website, Discover Natural Solutions, and we'll make sure that those get answered for you. As you can see, getting additional support, this is what doTERRA creates. Roxana is not a part of my team. I don't even know who invited her to use doTERRA oils, but she was willing to help. Who is your upline?
Natalie Goddard.
Who do you know? Natalie. Love Natalie. See how much good there is.
Yeah, Natalie's midwife is my upline.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
She's our upline, just a different leg. We're cousins.
Oh, sweet.
I appreciate that. And this is what doTERRA brings. So make sure you contact the person who invited you to this. Getting a kit, as you can see from all the things that she listed, is really important. So you have those tools in your arsenal of awesomeness. DiscoverNaturalSolutions.com is a great website just to learn more and get started. So thank you again, Roxana. I appreciate your help.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, that was wonderful. I'm going to switch over now to our next presentation as we kind of look through some of these. Let's pull up our next one. I hope you're enjoying this as much as I am. Okay, so coming up next. All right. I have a few questions on here. Will using peppermint postpartum affect milk supply? I heard you shouldn't use it. Good question, Shannon. Just to answer that, peppermint can, for some people, reduce milk supply. What I have done or found is that, for me personally, it didn't. But others who have, they just stopped using the peppermint, or that they started using fennel in addition to the peppermint, because that's also been shown to increase milk supply. I liked what Roxana said about being empowered and being in tune with your body. And this really allows that to be able to try something that is safe to use and see how it works for you. And you can easily stop taking the peppermint if you found that your milk supply went down. The other question before we begin, one more. I know this is asking a lot, but are we by chance going to get a write-up on these amazing uses of oils during pregnancy? Yes, we are. I'm going to hire somebody. Do you want to do that, Rachel? Write that up? No, we'll get it written up, and we'll make sure that you get a link to that to have it as a resource. So we are going to start. Let me get this other presentation up. So make sure that I have some awesome people on here. Janine, are you on?
I'm on. Can you hear me?
I can. Sophia, are you there?
Yay! I'm here.
Okay, fantastic. We're going to get going on our next segment, which is postpartum, lactation, newborn to toddler care. Let me introduce our guests for today. So Sophia Dunn is an amazing woman. She's a good friend. she's a wife and mother of 3, almost 4. She's expecting in July. Congratulations.
Thank
She
you.
said that she loves spending time with her family, being outdoors, camping, exercising, reading, sleeping, eating yummy foods, and having fun. Mention that word fun. She's one of those people. So before doTERRA, she was into natural healing and would suffer before she would medicate. She's also one of those people. So she joined doTERRA. Her mom actually came to my house, went to a class, and loved these. She signed her Sophia up. She bought her a kit. And at the time, she had a severe skin condition that she will share some pictures later on in the presentation with you. And what she's gained from doTERRA, just within 6 weeks of starting a regimen with oils, she was able to clear up her skin condition that she had. And so she loves using oils in her home to prevent and treat, although we don't prevent and treat, that's what she said, that arise in her home so that she doesn't have to suffer with so many things. And where she's going is she loves sharing and blessing other moms with the tools to heal themselves and their families. She also has a lot of fun working with some of her best friends and family members within the walls of her own home, and being able to stay home as a stay-at-home mom, which is the best job in the whole wide world, and also do doTERRA. So, welcome, Sophie. And Janine. Janine is awesomeness in a bottle. If you can bottle her up, she is like happiness in a bottle. We'll call her wild orange or lemon. So Janine, Janine is a mother of 3, and she's a certified postpartum doula and postpartum depression wellness advocate and survivor. So before doTERRA, she would reach for extra coffee or sugar or chocolate during those fatigue times, and she joined because she saw the value and the simplicity of using essential oils as a natural solution for aches, moods, battling viruses, and it was at a fraction of the cost and stress. So what she's gained from doTERRA is a supportive team in her quest for wellness and tools to build a business, giving her family hope. So her goals are to equip birth workers and families with confidence in wellness during childbearing years. So we are going to go ahead and start off with postpartum care for moms.
Yay! I think everything that has been shared so far is just fantastic and amazing, but I do have to say that I saw some comments saying, I wish I knew about these when I was pregnant. And I am one of those moms that did not have access to this until my kids were older. But because I am passionate about equipping other families, that's why I share. And so the big thing is to know, first of all, I'm not seeing the PowerPoint. Are you doing that, Stacy?
Yes.
Okay. So you have the first slide up?
Maybe I didn't screen share. Pardon me.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it either.
I just wanted to make sure. I tried to log in again, and so
I'm just trying to stress everybody.
Thank you, technical support.
Let me. Now do you see it? So there
Yay!
is Sophie and Janine. Wonderful people. You can memorize their faces. There you go. PowerPoint.
Thank you.
You're
Yay.
welcome.
So jumping ahead, I think the biggest reason why I'm passionate about meeting moms where they're at in postpartum is that oftentimes there's these fantastic classes and resources getting ready for birth, and birth is amazing. But then after you come home and it's a big, big adjustment to be home with a baby, or adjusting thereafter from 1 to 2 or 4 to 5 or whatever. And so to be able to manage that, the Lifelong Vitality is just fantastic in how it's composed of what our bodies really need. And I think of that as kind of the foundation. I think that nutrition is fantastic and amazing, but I didn't start realizing how many changes I could make to empower wellness until I was a mom. And so then the incentive to do it better, not only for me, but for my kids, was huge. So if we are able to have those types of supplements, it's a foundation for more energy. The calcium and magnesium that is in there helps us with uterus contracting. And that's really important because it takes about 9 months for our uterus to grow 25 times its normal size. And I know that once I gave birth, it took quite a while for it to go back down. And it helps if we have the magnesium and the calcium. The recommendation is at least 500 milligrams of magnesium and at least 500, sometimes 1,000 milligrams of calcium. We can adjust that with our diet as well. But it helps to reduce the discomfort and help us with the contracting, minimizing headaches and the pain of cramping if we start taking those a few months before birth and probably for the first 2 or 3 months postpartum. Our body is undergoing so much change. And then the specific lavender and white fur are really helpful for reducing pain. And we've found that, you know, a lot of our senses are in scent. And so it's amazing how simple it can be to implement these tools when you're in the midst of caring for a baby. And I think majority of moms on this call know that your priorities change quite a bit when you have a newborn, and ability to care for self becomes really, really challenging. So I found, and as a recovering somebody with postpartum depression, I have utilized these tools to meet moms where they're at and to elevate their confidence and to boost their mood. It then affects their whole home and everybody else in their family. And so I think that that's amazing. The lavender and white fur are very, very gentle. And so those can really help with utilizing to provide comfort for mom and then also to interact still with baby. There's not going to be any, disruption. Those are very, very gentle. Can we go to the next slide, Casey? Stacey, are we there? Hello?
I'm here. I don't know where Stacey went.
Okay. I'm not sure how to go to the next slide, so I'm just going to assume that she is going to... oh, there. Yay. Thank you.
Hey, sorry, I had a mom moment. I had a little girl that needed attention. Sorry.
I understand that.
No problem. I just wanted to make sure what I was saying correlated to the pictures. As some of us moms need that visual focus.
Right.
So thank you for these pictures. I think the power of a scent is realizing that smell is 10,000 more sensitive than any of our other senses. And the fact that this type of aromatherapy can send signals to our brain and kind of lift our emotional levels in the midst of very low sleep, or sometimes we have colic babies. It is really so simple that I think it empowers hope. And for any mom that I've been around that has struggled with that adjustment, just to have balance, which is a blend of, it's a grounding blend. It's the first oil picture here. And I love the imagery. It has spruce, rosewood, frankincense, and blue tansy. And it is meant to kind of root us, kind of like a tree in a wind. It can adjust as needed. And that imagery to me is the epitome of being a mom. Citrus Bliss is great for kind of invigorating and helping elevate. The Elevation blend is joyful, and it's a combination of tangerine, lemon myrtle, melissa, lang-lang, and Hawaiian sandalwood. And so it's amazing how just a drop or so on our feet, on the back of our neck, put in a diffuser can really change how we're feeling. And I know that those can be really powerful in the midst of long days. The other part is sitz bath. And I know that our midwife expert talked about this earlier, but as a way to boost our magnesium and the contracting and everything that's happening with our bodies recovering, if you put some Epsom salts in a bathtub and you add a little lavender, white fir, frankincense, it's amazing how that can soothe and comfort. And oftentimes moms say, how can I make time to get in the bathtub? I'm taking care of a baby. And I think almost every mom I've ever talked to has said, if you get a shower or a bath in at least every other day, as they get older, maybe every few days, that can change everything. And so hopefully there is a partner or an aunt or a grandma, or hire a postpartum doula. Doulas do this because they're passionate about equipping moms. They're not in it to make a ton of money. And so having somebody come just a few times a week for 6 weeks can make a huge difference. I think the next one we're on is swelling and edema. So many moms, are through so much adjustment. Their body is adjusting to all these fluids. And lemon is so fantastic for internally. We need to drink a lot of water to aid with breastfeeding. And what I found is because of the lemon oil, I've always had a lot of water, and I put lemon slices in my water. And I found because of the oil and the concentration of how that oil is distilled from the plant, cold pressed, it actually is less acidic, and it's really so cleansing on my system. It cleanses my liver, it flushes out toxins, it really boosts my energy. So I have found that to be a huge resource at pennies per drop, which is really always awesome. And then to give mom a massage on her feet of the cypress or the clary sage, lavender, balance. There's a few different options that really can help. I have to say that the times that I've done this with my clients, that they talk about that for all eternity, because here they are uncomfortable, their feet are aching, and even though they're elevating them, having somebody apply touch and this tool to kind of help them flush out any fluid that might have been from their birth or anything extra that their body is carrying postpartum, it can energize them in doing this in such a simple way and soothe them, which is really awesome when you're trying to take care of mom. So now we're on to breastfeeding, and that is a huge part of mothering. The few that help with cracked nipples are myrrh, geranium, sandalwood, also a combination of lavender and Roman chamomile. And as far as production, fennel and basil on the breast can really help. Being careful to not do it for more than 20 days, I think, is the recommendation. But doing it to help apply around the breast is helpful to increase production. I think the last part is just stretch marks and skin elasticity. And then, so knowing that you can use frankincense and lavender, which is about 48 cents for a 2-drop blend, or a combination of geranium, mint, and rosemary, which is the same composition of a Clarins product. Anybody knows the French company? That it really is only 32 cents to make a blend of those oils for stretch marks, skin elasticity, and cesarean. Your turn, Sophia.
Thank you. I just wanted to say on that previous slide, the PB Assist, from what I know about it, is great for breastfeeding to create that good bacteria and flora in your baby in your breast milk so that your baby gets that in their system. The info I have for this slide I actually got from Stephanie Fritz's book, which is a great book for anyone pregnant or expecting. It's called Essential Oils for Pregnancy, Birth, and Babies. I'm a mom of 3, as Stacy said, and I have one on the way due in July. And I'm so excited that I get to have oils for this pregnancy. I started using oils when my youngest had turned 1. So this is my first delivery that I'll have my oils and be able to use them with my infant. So this, using frankincense shortly after birth on your baby, on the baby's crown and down the spine, helps to reduce stress and actually aids in the bonding experience between the parents and baby. As many of you know, delivery is a very intense experience for mom and baby. So putting that frankincense on immediately postpartum just helps to calm the baby. And then using myrrh actually on the umbilical cord. So the umbilical cord has been the baby's source of nourishment for the past 9 months. And when it is cut, it's an open line to every system in the baby's body. So you do a drop of myrrh undiluted on and around the cord stump, it will help create a liquid Band-Aid to protect the body systems. My sister had a baby girl last summer, and when her baby's cord fell off a week or so later, it was bleeding, and so she actually did the myrrh in her belly button, and it sealed up and healed on its own. She didn't have to go get it stitched up or anything. And then one of my favorite oils is Balance. It's another great oil to reduce stress and anxiety. The baby might be feeling some of that coming out of the womb where they were comfortable and happy. So using Balance on the baby's feet can help calm them and ground them. And then Melissa oil, which I didn't know much about because I don't have it, but we'll be getting it after learning about it. It's great to apply Melissa oil to baby and mom because when babies are in the womb, we sometimes have negative feelings, negative energy, and Melissa oil helps repair any of that DNA damage that can be caused from thoughts, emotions, negative experiences when the baby was in our womb. So applying Melissa oil to the bottom of the feet after birth and a few days after is a great way to repair that DNA damage.
So we're going to jump into Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay.
So we're going to jump
You're
into
okay.
jaundice, which so many babies have. It has to do with their liver. And I know that each of my kids had some symptoms. And I think that having the geranium to put a drop or two on their feet just helps boost that production of the bilirubin and helps everything go smoothly. 2 other alternatives could be lemon or rosemary. And then obviously skin issues come up with babies. And I think the big thing to know is that there's a lot of products that are marketed to parents, but they are not natural. And they have a lot of byproducts that actually could compound eczema, cradle cap, and actually make it worse. So that's why I think this is just such a fantastic solution. And you can put lavender and melaleuca together to help with dry skin. The other recommendation is putting geranium and lemon in about 2 tablespoons of coconut or almond oil, and you just rub it on the top of their little head with a washcloth. It just has enough of a way to kind of get it loose, and it helps to just restore their skin. The digestive issues are so common up until babies are about 3 or 4 months old. Their digestive system has not properly developed. That's why they're so gassy. It's often why we rely so heavily on gripe water. But when I found Digestin, I realized that this is the solution for everybody ages basically 2 days old to 92 years old. It's a combination of ginger, peppermint, caraway, coriander, anise, tarragon, and fennel. And so putting that on their little system with some coconut oil or almond oil can just really help. Put it on their tummy and also on their back or on their feet can help so much. 3 other recommendations for colic and reflux are Roman chamomile, lavender, and geranium. So I just think having these tools, which are completely natural, can really help create mental strength and relief in the home. Were you going to transition, Sophia, to fevers and
yeah, I can. So here we have the lavender and Serenity. Serenity is one of our favorites in our home, just for calming. And using the lavender in a baby's bath, or the doTERRA sells an unscented body lotion. You can use whatever oils you prefer. That's using the lavender on your baby with that. It helps with sleep. And then the breed and eucalyptus is great for cough or congestion. So my now 8-year-old, when he was a baby, we lived in Utah for 6 months. I wish I had these oils because he was congested the first 6 months of his life from the dry climate up there. But I've used the eucalyptus and peppermint on my kids when they are congested or have a cough, and just applying it diluted with a carrier oil like the fractionated coconut oil. You can apply it on their chest, along their spine, on the bottom of their feet. It's a great way to relieve those symptoms. So the next slide, we're going to make over our diaper bags. I just want to talk about a few of the common health concerns that arise with infants and toddlers. A few tips real quick is you always want to dilute with a carrier oil for infants. You want to test the baby's skin first. Some babies are more sensitive than others. And then if an oil accidentally gets into the baby's eye, you always dilute with an oil, not with water. So you dilute with the fractionated coconut oil or olive oil or an oil base, not water. The water will drive it in deeper. And then you always want to use certified pure therapeutic grade oils. So doTERRA's oils are very good because they are certified pure therapeutic grade, and you don't want to be putting anything else on your baby's sensitive skin. So first off, we're going to talk about fevers. This was one I was a little nervous about trying. My daughter had a fever, and it was getting up there around 103 to 104, and I applied the peppermint oil and diluted to the bottom of her feet, and also gave her Motrin because I was a little skeptical at first. This is when I had first started using oil. And her fever dropped to 99 within 5 minutes. So I know it wasn't the Motrin kicking in 5 minutes. The peppermint oil is very effective.
and can help fight off that or cool the body system so the body's still able to fight off the infection that they're dealing with. And then another one that we all experience with our babies is teething. So using lavender or Roman chamomile, you just dilute it with the coconut oil, massage it around the outside of the face along the jawline, and then you can also mix 2 drops of clove oil into 1 tablespoon of a carrier oil and apply it directly to the gum. It's very numbing for the baby. It just helps to soothe that pain that they're experiencing. And then diaper rash. I loved Balance when my daughter was still in diapers. Balance oil is very calming, and you don't have to dilute it. It already has a base of the fractionated coconut oil. So I would put that on her bottom. You can also use 1 to 2 drops of lavender, Roman chamomile, sandalwood, or myrrh, and you would just dilute it with 1 to 2 drops of the coconut oil and apply to the affected area. And then Janine discussed digestive issues. We love Digestin. I think it's one of the fastest oils that you notice an immediate relief. My 8-year-old turns to that oil and uses it when he needs it, and I love it that they're completely safe for my children to use. And then I'm going to talk about eye infections and ear infections, and I kind of linked these two because I use the same oils. My daughter had an eye infection, which turned into an ear infection just a few months ago, and you never want to put oils directly in the eye or in the ear canal. You just dilute it with a carrier oil and then rub it around the eye bone and around the ear bone, the back side of the ear, around to the front. You can put the oils on a cotton ball and stick it in the ear. The ones I use are lavender, melaleuca, and frankincense. You can also use basil for ear infection, helps to relieve the pain. And her eye infection cleared up in 2 days without drops. And her ear infection was better overnight. So they're very fast, very effective. And then next slide, Susie. Many babies suffer from eczema or dry skin. And so I actually have a photo of my legs. 2 years ago, I had a form of psoriasis called cutate psoriasis. Psoriasis and eczema are very linked, very similar in treating. Stacey today. I'll just keep going.
I'm here. I'm sorry.
You're here.
Sophia, I'm here. I just was looking for the picture, and I thought, oh, maybe she's going to say something else.
I was waiting for I was just waiting for the skin pictures.
So yeah, it's delayed. Sorry. I'm sure
that
Stacey's on it.
No, you're good. So I just want to say the before and after from my legs is 6 weeks, and I treat it completely naturally with oil and doTerra's supplements. So the consistency of applying the oils is what's key. You need to be applying them consistently. Like I said, it was 6 weeks of applying them twice a day. Melaleuca and lavender are great oils to start with. They're very gentle, very good for baby skin. So diluting it with like the fractionated coconut oil is very moisturizing as well. And then, like I said, the unscented body lotion you can get from doTerra as well, and then just mix the oils that you choose with that. So, and I love that you can do that. Most oils or lotions you buy at the store have oils in them, but they are mostly synthetic. When you buy a lavender lotion for your baby, it's going to have the synthetic oil where you can use the lavender, and it is great for their skin. So.
And related to that, in addition to having these tools for our babies, because I became involved recently, I have an almost 3-year-old and we have been in the midst of potty training. And I have pretty intense children, and they are very good at tantrums. And so I started to utilize my oils, and in particular, the past tense on myself to help me be calm. It's a blend, it's a roller ball, and it just easily applies on the back of the neck. And I know that when I first started to get into oils, I was thinking about spilling and is it going to be messy? And my life was already pretty messy. And emotionally, there's always a lot going on. So these are just fantastic, fantastic tools to start with. And also the In-Tune Focus Blend. It has sandalwood, frankincense, lang-lang, Roman chamomile, Hawaiian sandalwood. And I put this on the back of my kid's neck right before a baseball game, or to help my daughter calm down and relax to go on the potty. And they have noticed a huge difference. They ask for it.
Thank you, ladies. That was wonderful. Transitioning from, getting pregnant all the way, now we have infants on the potty. So I appreciate all the information that we've had so far. Our next segment coming up is children and teens. So let me just quickly switch over. Thank you, Sophia and Janine. We're going to be switching over. For those who are just joining us, our next segment is children and teens and essential oils. Is Amanda and Adrian and Heather on?
I'm here. This is Heather.
Hey, Heather.
This is Amanda.
Hey, Amanda. And Adrian, I'm sure she's going to be on soon. Let me pull up our next segment. So let me introduce these wonderful people to you. This is Stacey Paulson, Diamond doTERRA wellness advocate for those who have just joined our webinar. So let me start off with Heather Grant. So Heather and I were in a small town together. That's how we know each other. And she lives in central Utah, and she's a mother of 5 kids. And before finding doTERRA, she was in the doctor's office on a regular basis with her children for everything from ear infections to sore throats. So even with insurance, the co-pays added up and the side effects were nasty. She joined doTERRA with the hope that she could use essential oils as her first line of defense within her home and to help other women do the same thing. So she's gained a healthier family and empowerment as a mom by having essential oils in her home. Amanda Winters is my sister-in-law, and she is the mother of 4 awesome kids. And she's super involved with her community and church, and is an advocate for complete wellness. And her passion comes from her own experience of dealing with pain for 8 years and with other health problems. And so after searching for years, she found essential oils and noticed a huge change. Then she found doTERRA and noticed that there was a difference in the quality. And she has found healing, and her goal is to connect doctors and patients to natural solutions. So welcome, Amanda. And then we have Adrienne Allen, who is just amazing. She's just a sweet friend. And before doTERRA, she was searching for natural solutions for her family's health and emotional concerns, and she had experience with several essential oils that worked very well. This was prior to joining doTERRA. And using those few oils in combination with changing what they ate, she got them out of their health-compromising cycle of overabuse of antibiotics for ear infections. And she joined doTERRA because she saw the power of oils and wanted to learn more. And also she wanted to share answers with other moms. She loves that she can educate and help liberate other moms with knowledge and tools that work. Now she's creating a community of women that support healthy living and natural practices. So welcome everybody to the webinar. We're just going to get going with our first segment. Heather Grant's going to cover this.
Hey everybody, as Stacey said, my name's Heather, and I am so happy to be with you today. With 5 kids, it seems like there's always something going on health concern-wise, and so today I get the pleasure of talking to you about using essential oils in your family and specifically with your children. So right off, essential oils are so great at helping with sicknesses. But as every mom knows, it's always better if your kids don't even get sick in the first place. So we want to build our children's immune system, and we do that through nutrition and exercise and making sure that they get enough sleep. And in our family, we found essential oils to be extremely useful in strengthening our immune systems. So we've noticed just that as we've been using essential oils, we actually get sick a lot less. Or if we do get sick, it's less severe or for a shorter duration of time. So essential oils have really, really helped our family. The first blend I'm going to talk about today is a blend called On Guard. It has things like wild orange and clove and eucalyptus in it. And it's a blend that was specifically designed for killing germs and for helping to build and strengthen our immune system. So one way we use that is to diffuse that On Guard in the air. And then as we put that On Guard in the air, it really eliminates those airborne threats and kind of cleans and purifies the air. So especially when there's sicknesses going around school or in our community, we just want to make sure that the air in our home is clean and germ-free. doTERRA also makes a great product. It's called On Guard beadlets. They're super tiny for really little children. So even really small children can swallow them and get that oil in their system to just kind of help that immune support. Another product we love in our home is the On Guard Cleaning Concentrate. We use this to clean with. So we use it to wipe down high chairs and doorknobs and countertops. And it's really great to know the On Guard is just as effective killing germs and sanitizing surfaces as something like Clorox wipes would be, only without all of those harmful chemicals and toxins. So I'm one of those mean moms, and I actually make my kids do a lot of the cleaning. And so it's just really great as a mom to know that I can send them with that On Guard to clean. And not only is it going to be effective, but it's also safe and non-toxic. Another product that we love is the On Guard Foaming Hand Wash. So this is probably one of my favorites. So as we know, hand sanitizers and things like antibacterial soaps can actually be really bad. So they can strip our skin's natural protective layer. So in many cases, they do more harm than good. And so we want to be able to kill those germs, but still keep that skin's natural protective layer in place. And so there's actually several studies using On Guard to clean surfaces. And once a surface has been cleaned with that On Guard, it continues to keep killing germs for around 3 hours. So even if you introduce new germs to that surface, the On Guard is going to continue to kill those germs. So it's great as a mom to know that if I wash my kids' hands before I send them to church or to school or wherever they may be, that On Guard is going to continue to fight those germs for several hours and really protect them. So love that. As we know, nutrition is also such a really important part in building up our immune system. So the doTERRA makes two great products, the A to Z chewables and the IQ Megas. And as we talked about earlier, up to 85% of our body's immune system is actually in your gut or your digestive system. So I'm sure none of your children are picky eaters, but at my house, we really struggle sometimes to make sure they get the proper nutrition. And so the great thing about the A to Z chewables is that not only do they have all of the vitamins and the minerals that our children's bodies need, but they're also packed with tons of superfoods. So the ingredient label on the back actually has things like, it has beet greens in it, and pineapple, and spinach, and broccoli, and all of these things that if I put it on a plate, my kids would probably never touch it. But because it's in that A to Z chewable form and it tastes really great, my kids love them. At our house, they actually think they're candy. So it's kind of been a bonus. They really do love them. The IQ Megas are another awesome supplement, and it's so extremely important. It has the omega-3 fish oils in it. So your children need those. They need them on a daily basis. So the doTERRA ones are actually wild orange flavored. So they taste great, and as well, you can just put them on a spoon and give it to them that way. At our house, we do lots of fruit smoothies. That's my mom's way, like sneaky way of sneaking the spinach into their diet. And so I actually just put a couple of tablespoons of the IQ Mega in the blender as well, and then just blend that up, and it's just part of their breakfast kind of thing. So it's so important as our children's brains are growing and developing to have those omega-3s in their diet, and especially to help them as they focus and they concentrate as they're learning in school. And then just also it's a great help as far as controlling mood management as well. So this is the Natural Solutions Kit, and it is by far one of my favorite kits for moms. If you'll notice, it has the diffuser that we talked about earlier as well as that On Guard blend in it. So it's fabulous. It has Just lots of great blends. One of the blends we love is a blend called Breathe, and it can be used to assist with all things respiratory, so things like cough and congestion, allergies. I have a son who has severe allergies, and when those allergies take place, then that triggers an asthma attack. And so we've been able to use Breathe oil to control his asthma, and that's been really great, just not to have to use the steroids or the inhalers, but to be able to manage that naturally. Another blend we love in this kit is Digest Zen, so it's really great to assist with all things digestive. So it's really great as a mom. It seems like somebody always has something digestive going on. So it's great for upset stomachs, diarrhea, constipation, heartburn, acid reflux, stomach flu, just all of those, all things tummy kind of thing. With summer coming up, we use a lot of Terra Shield in our house. It's a natural insect repellent. It's also included in this kit. Just to kind of keep those bugs away, especially with West Nile virus around. The kit also includes all of the basic things, so things like lemon and peppermint. One of my all-time favorite summertime oils is lavender, so it's great to help with things like sunburns and bug bites and bee stings and blisters. So this is just a great kit all the way around to have the basic things that you need to get started in caring for your family naturally. Quick story, about 2 weeks ago, my kids were playing outside, and my son threw a rock at my daughter, Devry, and she came into the house, was screaming hysterically. And there is kind of a picture here coming up that shows my daughter and her head wound. So kind of a scary thing as a mom to have her come in and have that gash in her head. We actually live, my first thought, you can see it there at the bottom left, so I'll just apologize if it makes you kind of nauseous, but it was super scary to see as a mom. We actually kind of live in the middle of nowhere, just a little tiny town, and so our nearest ER is over 30 minutes away. And my sister-in-law just said, hey, can we try some oil stuff naturally? And we pulled out my oil kit, and one of the first oils that we actually used was Serenity. And Serenity is very, very calming, and we actually just took the lid off the bottle and gave that to her to breathe in so that she could calm down. And then as she was able to kind of calm down and relax, we were able to start working on her head. And so we used just a couple of drops of Melaleuca, which is antiviral and antibacterial, to kind of clean and sanitize that wound. And then we used a couple of drops of Helichrysum. So Helichrysum is an amazing oil. It immediately helped that bleeding to stop. With a head wound, as you know, they kind of bleed like crazy. And as soon as we got that Helichrysum on, immediately just noticed a difference that the bleeding kind of subsided. So we were able to use some super glue, just a couple of drops of super glue to kind of glue that wound back together. So I don't know, like I said, I'm from a small town, so we use duct tape or super glue for everything. But we use that super glue just to kind of be able to put that wound back together. And then it had already started to swell, and so we were able to apply frankincense and kind of layer with frankincense to bring that swelling down and make sure that there was no bruising. So just my personal belief is that doctors are such wonderful, like awesome people. But it was so nice to be able to have something that was extremely effective in helping with that head wound, and also very inexpensive. So in the past 2 weeks, we've spent probably less than $5 on oils versus what it would have cost us to go to the ER. And then also probably a follow-up doctor visit to check that head wound again and remove those staples. So it was just a great experience to be able to have the tools we needed to help her right from our own home. So as you can see, the latest picture was taken just a couple days ago, and she's feeling great. So that's kind of a neat thing to see. So 2 tools that you need to be effective to take care of your family naturally is having the oils in your home, and then also information. So the more oils you have in your home, the more options you're going to have, the more success you're going to have in being able to take care of your children. And then also just being able to have that Modern Essentials book, a copy for yourself at your fingertips, and then just logging onto those websites and having that support as well. So in addition to being able to use essential oils with sickness and health concerns, they're really great in assisting moms to have those tools that they need to support their children. So as they're super active and are involved in sports and other activities, I will let my great friend Amanda tell you a little bit about that.
I'm so excited to be here today and to really discuss the stage of life that my family is in. I have 4 children, and they all play sports. And so one of the number one things that I have them do is to take the vitamins. I know Stacy had mentioned a long time ago, and everyone else throughout this webinar have hit on the lifelong vitality and how important they are. As you are playing sports or exercising or other activities where you're using your body, they are great support for your body. And so they are a definite must in being able to reduce inflammation and other things. A big part of playing sports that I've noticed with my children is they need extra confidence. When they get in situations where they're under a lot of pressure, sometimes they can shut down. The oil that I have found that works great for this is bergamot, because bergamot, if it's applied over the heart, actually shows or actually supports self-confidence. There are many things that my kids carry in their bags when they go to sporting events. This picture is a great one because it shows many things. We need our water bottles. We definitely need the lemon and stuff to support our bodies. The deep blue rub, I actually had to limit my kids on that because they were sharing the oil so much that they were going through the deep blue rub like it was growing on trees. So I had to limit that a little bit. But that is great to be able to help with those sore muscles or sprains. Terra Shield and On Guard. Heather just talked about the On Guard, and I love, love, love On Guard. You wouldn't think that it is an oil for sports, but I have found that it really protects your kids, just like it protects us from germs and stuff. It protects us emotionally. So if they have a coach that yells at them a lot, or if they have fans that are being unruly, having On Guard on them before they play is a great option for that. Also, Terra Shield. It's just like putting a shield on them before they play, that they are same way protected from the coaches yelling at them or the fans. Sometimes we have injuries as we play sports, so some oils that are great for sprains are lemongrass and white fir, just applied to the area. If we overwork our muscles, white fir, just applied to the muscles, and eucalyptus will help us. We definitely want our kids to have energy, especially when they have tournaments, or, if you play sports yourself, then we need to support our bodies. And in my experience, teenagers aren't always the best at thinking about how they're going to support their bodies all day. The Mito 2 Max that's on that picture is a wonderful product that helps with endurance and stamina and will keep their bodies energetic and being able to perform what they are putting their bodies through to reduce the inflammation, going back to the lifelong vitality. That's going to be a huge key in reducing inflammation. Also, to be able to put basil and marjoram on your knees or your back or your shoulders or your elbows or whatever that is affected by consistent movement is a great way to do it. A huge part of sports is not only the skill set, but we definitely need to be able to help with the mindset. And like I shared in the beginning, that bergamot helps with self-confidence. There's definitely an aspect of sports and life in general related to our mood and our mind. If we want to be successful in all areas of our lives, we definitely need to address the mood and mind aspect of all the activities of our lives.
Thank you, Amanda. This is Adrienne speaking. And as Amanda pointed out, when we look at the health of the whole child, we cannot ignore their emotional health. It's so intertwined with physical well-being. And today, I want to give you a simple tool to assist you in the management of your children's emotions. It is helpful for children with both minor and more severe emotional dysregulation. So this tool is the Mood Management Matrix you see on your screen. It was developed by Dr. Hill, the Chief Medical Officer of doterra, and I recommend printing it out and posting it where you can continually refer to it. Then, as you learn the 4 mood management oils and when to use them, you and your child can start to feel the very immediate and beneficial power of the oils. The 4 oil blends are Serenity, Citrus Bliss, Elevation, and Balance, and all of them are used aromatically and topically. I'll give you a few ideas of how to use them as I continue, but I want to impress upon you that you have the power to be creative in how you incorporate them into your lives. Okay, so let's look at the matrix. You'll notice the horizontal and the vertical arrows that intersect and form 4 quadrants, representing the 4 states of dysregulation. So the horizontal axis shows the emotional extremes and polar opposites. On the left, we see lack of peace. That's what anxiousness is. And on the right, we see passionless, which is really being flatlined and having no drive. And then you'll notice the vertical axis that shows the physical extremes. On the bottom, there's stress, which is when the body is always in overdrive. And on the top, we have fatigued, which is where our bodies are just completely out of energy. So I'm going to talk about each of these 4 quadrants and what that looks like, what your child looks like in that mode, and then what oil you can use to manage that emotional state. So quadrant 1 is the upper left-hand corner, and that is when we have a combination of no peace and fatigue. So emotionally, the child can be impatient and angry, and physically they may have stomach ache or headache. And what does this child look like? They're grumpy, short-tempered, intolerant, irritable, and exhausted by these emotions because they consume all their energy. Too much is going on in their head and they are worn out. The oil blend to use in this circumstance is Serenity Calming Blend. As its name suggests, it's calming, soothing, alleviates anxiety, and helps ease nervous tension. I personally love to use this blend on my kids at nighttime in a back or a foot massage. It helps their minds to stop racing and allows the body to relax and enter a deep, restful sleep. At any time during the day, it can help your child relax and not always be revved up. You can put it in a spray bottle with water to spritz the air. It's particularly helpful for children with ADD and ADHD or the child that's high-strung and anxious. It helps promote sleep and calms tantrums. Okay, so let's look at quadrant number 2. It's in the upper right. This is a combination of fatigue and no passion. So emotionally, the child is unmotivated and discouraged, and physically, they may have brain fog or chest tightness. And what does this child look like? This child is really flatlined. It's hard to get them to do anything. They're always bored. They're immovable, apathetic, don't have space to take in feedback. They also don't have much to give. You may be able to envision a teenager in a hoodie, totally checked out and just kind of hiding from life. Don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. They seem depressed. Or the child may be difficult to motivate or engage in activities. So the oil blend to use in this circumstance is Citrus Bliss, the invigorating blend. So this blend helps invigorate the child, alleviating anxiety and promoting physical energy. It also helps ease nervous tension. It has antidepressant qualities as well. So this is one that I love to diffuse. And we like to also breathe it from our hands or put it in our bath water. It's also a helpful one before certain activities like homework. All right, let's look at quadrant number 3, the lower right. That's the combination of passionless and stress. So emotionally, the child is hopeless and withdrawn, and physically, they have chest tightness or lower back pain. And what does this child look like? There's a lot of inner conflict going on here. And the conflict occurs because without passion or motivation, Getting things done or performing in many capacities becomes very stressful and frustrating. Others may feel frustrated with the child as well, wondering why it seems so hard to light a fire under them or engage them. There's an overall lack of hope. Their mindset may be these types of expressions. It's always this way. I'm never going to be able to. I can't. Or you are always. So the oil blend I like to use here is Elevation, the joyful blend. It's inspiring and boosts passion to make desires happen. It's encouraging as well, helping give a positive outlook and hope for the future. This oil, is because it contains citrus as well, has antidepressant qualities. It relieves stress and invokes cheerful feelings. And our family likes to breathe this one in from our hands or put it in our bath water, and sometimes we diffuse it. And we found that it's very good at helping us to move on from things. Instead of feeling stuck in what has been, we feel like we can act and create wonderful things in our lives. Okay, so the last quadrant is number 4, and it's in the lower left. And this is the state of dysregulation where we or the child is stressed out and there's no peace. So emotionally, the child is tense or worried, and physically may have digestive upset or neck pain. And generally speaking, the child in this state may be flying off the handle or going crazy, too much energy, perhaps agitated or upset about apparently nothing. And their body is in go mode, but the mind is not in sync with the body in the moment, worrying about things that have been or might be, and the child also might be inflexible. So the blend we like to use in these circumstances is Balanced Grounding Blend. It creates feelings of being grounded and balanced. Think of a tree that is both rooted and flexible in the wind. And that's what you feel like when you use the Balanced Blend. It also is consoling and reassuring, helps with feelings of anger or upsetness, helps with a positive attitude, helps release emotional blocks. This is one that we have in roller bottles and we use daily. It's great on the bottoms of the feet, the back of the neck, or down the spine. In the mornings, it sets things right for the day. In the evening, it's also great for bedtime massages. It combines well with Serenity and is particularly good at calming the upset child or the out of sorts child. Great for kids on the autism spectrum. So with all of these different states of dysregulation or these quadrants that we've outlined, in real life, children can flip-flop between these quadrants, and often in response to them, we can too. So all of the principles that I've just outlined can apply to moms as well. We can use the same tool for ourselves. But you'll notice as you start to observe more, you'll see patterns, and you'll start to understand what works for your child. Also, your children will learn what works for them, and they do this intuitively. They're drawn to what their body and minds need. I like to leave oils where they are accessible, and I help children learn to apply oil to themselves using the rollers. And something important to keep in mind is never to force an oil on a child. Let them choose what works for them or where to apply it on their body and honor their process. Because time is out, I want to make a quick mention of several other blends that may be helpful to you. The first is In Tune Focus Blend, and this assists efforts to a child's efforts to remain calm and focused on desired tasks. The second oil is Clary Calm, particularly good for teenage daughters. It helps calm emotions and physical symptoms associated with PMS. And then the last blend I want to mention is not made by doTERRA, but you can make it yourself from doTERRA oils. It's called Peaceful Child Blend, and it helps with hyperactivity, ADD, ADHD, emotional trauma, fear, stress, anxiety, behavioral and cognitive disorders, and other neurological disorders. And all of the oils in this blend are calming, soothing, and stabilizing to the central nervous system. So thanks for joining us today. Good luck in your emotional adventures, and I know these oils will empower you to make impactful changes in your family.
Thank you so much, ladies. All of that is so informative. It's interesting as we've gone through this process of listening to different segments on this journey through motherhood, and it's all women because we nurture people, to see how our understanding of oils has progressed from just getting a book and getting a set of oils to being able to know all this amazing stuff that they can do. And as you have your own personal experiences, then we're able to share. So in closing up this segment, additional support and getting started, if you are new on here, just contact the person who invited you to this webinar and ask them, how do I get started? Also, discovernaturalsolutions.com has great information, basics of the oils. If you missed our first segment, the introduction to oils, make sure you listen to that replay that you'll be sent. Discover Natural Solutions Facebook group. You can ask to join that. You can post your questions there. We'd love to answer. If you have experiences, share them there. And for those who are wanting to get involved in the business and do this with us, Simply Build Wellness is our team website. So we're going to move on to the next segment, which is how to join our network of women and why you would want to do that. Let me just pull up the last presentation. For those of you who are on, we will be doing our drawing for the Mother's Day gift set on Monday from everyone that's registered. In addition, we'll be giving away some awesome oils as you're posting from your takeaways, the things that you found helpful or questions that you have from the webinars on our Facebook group page, Discover Natural Solutions. And you can ask to join that. Let me pull up our last segment. Welcome to those who are new, who are just joining us. We are on our last segment of our Mother's Extravaganza webinar segment. It's been delightful hearing all the information that's been presented. So, introduction to myself. I am Stacey Paulson, and I'm the mother of 6 children, and I'm a Diamond Wellness advocate for doTERRA. I just want to share with you, before I joined doTERRA, I was a mother of 4. And at the time, I had some health issues. I had allergies, which I was taking medication for. And a friend of mine, Elise Coyle, shared a couple of drops of oil, which really had changed our life, because that oil, as I placed it over the bridge of my nose, took away my allergies within a couple of minutes. And I wasn't so set on what it was doing for my allergies, but what I loved is that it opened me up to something new, because I was suffering from chronic sinus infections and had been on rounds and rounds of antibiotics, and nothing was helping. It would go away, I would go off to antibiotics, and it would come right back. They thought that I had a tooth infection, so I had teeth pulled, I had dental work done. All of these, I had x-rays taken and gone to different specialists suffering with that. I also had miscarriages. We were trying to have number 5, and we were really struggling with having miscarriages and not knowing what was going on within my body. Because I knew that I had 4 healthy children, there were functional parts within there. So I was struggling with that as well. And then migraines. I had migraines nearly every month for 10 years. And going to the doctors, it was the same thing. Either change your nutrition, take these medications, get more rest. And I remember the last one that I had before I decided I was going to take a new path and look for alternatives. It was Christmas Day, and I was down and out with a migraine. And I remember being out for a couple of days in the dark. My kids knew what to do, leave me alone. I vowed that day that I was going to find something. I was going to find a solution, because my kids didn't need to have a mother that was suffering like that. And so that was before doTERRA. And why I joined doTERRA is really that when I had that experience with allergies and finding that the oils worked for allergies, it gave me a hope that maybe there was something out there that I could use that would help with these other conditions that I had. And it was because of the people that I had met. I'd gone to a class that Dr. Hill, the Chief Medical Officer of doTERRA, he was presenting at, and he was sharing the benefits of oils for women and women's health issues. And the people that were there were so loving and caring and concerned about me. And so I joined with the hope that it was going to help my health, but also because of the people that I was going to be able to associate with. And what I've gained from joining doTERRA and being a part of this is not only my health conditions changing. So I remember getting my first kit of oils. It was May, and we had been asked to move to California. We were in California, asked to move to California, and I remember being really excited about these oils. I didn't know what half of them did, but I had a Modern Essentials book. I had my oils. I had my friend Elise, who I could call. She was great, support. And online stuff, there was so much information available that I could use. And so I just started testing them out. And the first thing that was on my mind was getting pregnant. That was my top concern, was being able to have a healthy pregnancy. And I had learned just from my own research about cleansing and different oils and the Lifelong Vitality supplements that somebody had recommended for fertility. So that next order on my Loyalty Rewards order, I got Lifelong Vitality supplements. And I had Clary Sage. They didn't have the Solus or the Clary Calm blend at that time. They just had Clary Sage. And I remember using those faithfully. And the following month, in July, we were expecting. And I was so excited, but also kind of scared because I knew that this had happened several times before, thinking that we were going to have a baby, and we didn't. And so it went along, July, healthy pregnancy, wonderful, healthy baby. My migraines had gone away within a couple of months using the Lifelong Vitality. My migraines went away. My sinus infections went away. I wasn't on antibiotics. And so that's health-wise what I gained, but as a mother, it was so empowering because I have tools now in my home that I could just open my cupboard, open my medicine cabinet, and pull those essential oils out and be able to help my children, whether it was managing mood, it was ear infections, if it was a cold, or it was flu. I have tools right in my home, and so I've gained empowerment and solutions in my home. In addition to a great network, if you've been on these webinars, there's something on if you can do *6 to mute yourself, that we won't have that background noise. Just push *6 on your phone, or push mute on your phone. That I've created hundreds of new friends. Now I have this association with so many different women and men and families that have been a source of help and support to me, and that I've also been able to help and support. So all the women that have been on this webinar are people who I have come to know because of doTERRA, and they all have different gifts and talents that are unique to them and life experiences that are helpful for me and other people. So that's something else that I've gained. And then in addition, the financial well-being that has transformed our family. So I put a picture of the tap there with the water coming out. That doTERRA really helps us to create a pipeline of residual income, bringing in income far after or far beyond any of the work, I guess, that we put in, is because it's like we are building a pipeline, and it takes a lot of effort up front. But then once you have that pipeline set and you're able to turn on the spigot, the water just flows. And so the work that you put in has brought wonderful things to you. And so I've gained from this really financial freedom. And something else that I want to talk about is where we are going. Where are we going, doTERRA as a company? This is a really bad shot, but I wanted to show something that they had presented. doTERRA presented at their convention. They have a yearly convention, and they were showing the growth of doTERRA. It's a 6-year-old company, and the growth that they have experienced is beyond that of Facebook's growth, and that this year they are most likely to hit $1 billion company. And why that is because the oils work. People try them, they experience it, and they see how it changes their lives. And they work, and they continue to purchase and use and to share with other people because the oils work. So doTERRA, the company, is debt-free and growing like you wouldn't believe all over the world. That's where they're going, and that's exactly where we are going as a team. And it's about wellness, complete and total wellness, about our physical, emotional, occupational, spiritual, social, intellectual wellness. That's where we're going. That's what it's bringing to people. So as far as your physical health, my children, my family, that is something that it helps with in a safe way in a natural way, effective, cost-effective, like we talked about. Emotionally, these oils support us in emotional trauma or difficulties, releasing emotions, that it can help in that capacity as well. Occupational. So as far as our finances, this is something that I want more people on our team getting out of debt than any other. But this is a way to help provide for your family, and not in, I know some people have that money block of, accumulating riches. That's not what this is about. It's about providing for your family in a way that you are able to enlarge your capacity to do good. And that's also where we are going and what we're creating with this network of wonderful women and men and families. It helps spiritually to connect us, not just with each other, but with God. And socially, there are a lot of people who are without that social network, that structure, those friends that they can rely on, and it provides that, and that's what we want to help provide for other people. And intellectually, I can't even tell you how much I have learned. So I've been a stay-at-home mom, and I shouldn't say stay-at-home mom because that sounds, I think that's a lame thing to say about moms, a stay-at-home mom. I am not a stay-at-home mom. I am a working mom. Every single mom is a working mom, whether you get paid for it in dollars or not. Every one of us is a working mom. So as a working mom, I have always worked for money from home. And I've done different things, being a marketing manager from different companies, having my own business from home. But I will tell you, from all the work that I have done, this is the place that I have learned the absolute most, not just about things going on in the world and different systems and how to do things, how to run webinars, and reach out to people in that capacity, but how to speak, how to present, how to teach people, how to receive feedback, how to do social media things, well beyond anything that I've learned in college or that I've learned on the job training. And the interpersonal skills that I've learned as I have been a part of this are beyond anything else that I've experienced. And so that's something that I want other people to have access to, that it's available to all of us as we embark on this journey together. So the support that you receive when you join doTERRA is beyond just essential oils and using them to maybe fix an owie, to put it on a zit on your face. The oils are good for that, but the network that this has created is far beyond. So how people generally start is they get a starter kit, and with that comes a membership with doTERRA. And all of the benefits of doTERRA are available to everyone, and some people want to just take advantage of some of those. And that may mean just using your oils and receiving information and help using them in your family. There's others who want to be able to do that, but then help others. They may host a class. They might share oils with someone, refer people to learn more. And then there's those who wanted to get involved in a greater capacity, like myself, yet be able to stay with my children and have a schedule that is conducive to my family, who is number one to me, that I can be able to work when I want, where I want, how much or how little I want, and that it's controlled by me and not controlled by an employer, that I have that control. And the nice thing is that I can go and I teach other people to do that as well. And so we've created a fabulous network of wonderful women and men and families who are all a part of this and helping the world be a better place and giving support when it's needed and lending support when you're able to offer it. So the different ways that you can get involved, first contact the person who invited you to this webinar. DiscoverNaturalSolutions.com is a great resource to get more information, and our Facebook page as well. And for those of you who want to join and be a part of what we're doing, SimplyBuildWellness.com is a great resource to help you get started. In fact, let's just go there right now so I can show you what resources are available to you. So this is our team website, And we have an 8-week mentoring program that you can get text right to your phone. It's 15 minutes every day, which will help you to learn what it is that we do and how you can become empowered with essential oils and the business hand in hand together. So in this Getting Started tab, it walks you through everything that you need to know in order to get started with us in doTERRA. There's training, there's calls, there's additional retreats and support that help you to get what you want, be what you want, do what you want, and reach the goals that you have. So if there are any questions about getting started in doTERRA, what it has to offer, resources that you need, we are back on. Let me just unscreen share here. And if you have any questions or comments from any of the segments, you're welcome to ask questions now. It's in Q&A mode. What that means is if you're on your phone, you can push *6 to be unmuted. Or you can, I think you can raise your hand and I can unmute you on here if you're on your computer. Or you can type them in the chat box if you have any questions at all. So we are, while we're waiting there, we are doing a drawing for Mother's Day kit, and that will be done on Monday. For those who are on here, so which were the 3 oils for stretch marks? Good question. Let me go back to notes, unless Faye or someone else is on there who has that. Yeah, I know Immortelle was one that you could use, and Immortelle is a blend of different oils that are really good for that.
I'm online. Faith.
Hey, Faith.
Hey. Hi. Yes, you're absolutely right. Immortelle is a great choice because it has the lavender, the myrrh, the rose, frankincense, all in it. And then a couple of other choices were lavender, geranium, and cypress. And also
lavender, geranium, and cypress. Good job. She has an amazing mind. All right, any other questions on here? Get a copy of this information slideshow. Yes, so that's going to be sent out. Everyone that registered will be emailed a link to these. We're going to separate them into segments so they won't be one big long chunk, but you'll get the half-an-hour segments that you'll be able to watch again, or you'll be able to refer people to be able to watch those. If you know someone that would be served by just a different segment, you can send that out. Anyone else? Any questions? Okay. I am not seeing any oils for helping with PCOS and cycles. Crystal. Yes. So I don't know if you've looked up in everythingessential.me or eeoils.me. I believe it's there that they have some different oils that were recommended. I don't have it right now. If you haven't been to eeoils.me, let me just show you what it looks like. Come to this site. It's not very pretty, in my opinion, but if you go to these health concerns, you can look up so many different things. And if it's not listed in like the name that you have, there might be another name that it's called when you're looking up something. So if you had eczema, you can look up eczema. It will tell you what it is. It will give you suggested protocols to use. So for instance, using clear skin, geranium, lavender, melaleuca. It will tell you little recipes that you can use, as well as give experiences or testimonials of different things people have tried. So this is a really useful site if you don't have a Modern Essentials book, and oftentimes I use both of them in conjunction with each other. Question is, you mentioned peppermint a lot during pregnancy, but I thought it said not to use it during pregnancy and when you're nursing. Yes, so disclaimer is consult your primary care whoever you work with as far as peppermint. Peppermint is something that many use during pregnancy. If you have issues in pregnancy, like preterm labor or something, you might want to be cautious with that, as well as anything else that you're using. Peppermint is very invigorating. However, it can be very helpful and a natural solution to many common wellness issues or concerns that you have. So paying attention to your body as you're using peppermint is key, becoming more aware of yourself. So I use peppermint all the time because of nauseousness. And I chose to use peppermint versus some of the, in previous pregnancies, they would prescribe different things to take. So I chose to use peppermint, which worked fabulously for nauseousness during my pregnancy versus taking a prescription or over-the-counter product. But being aware of your body and paying attention to that, peppermint as far as lactation, that sometimes it can reduce your the milk flow. However, just be aware and pay attention to that. It's not something it will wipe out your milk flow and you're all dried up. That's not what we're saying. You'll have a reduction if you're one of those people, has a reduction and you stop taking the peppermint, and the milk flow can come back. And fennel is great for supporting increasing that milk flow. Being aware of those. Any other questions? Fantastic. I'm so excited for what's ahead, how our team is growing, and the amazing people who are coming into doTERRA. And I want to be able to reach out and support, but also find those who are able to support in different ways, just like the women who are on this webinar today. And there were other people who supported getting the word out, creating flyers, graphics. I want to thank all of the people that promoted this. And next month, we want to do another one, which will be focused on women in general, women's health issues, mood management, all focused on women. So we'll get that information out and the dates and registration for it. But this is something that we want to be able to continue to do, to be able to reach out throughout the nation, throughout the world, to other people like ourselves, women, families, moms, and helping them to find natural solutions in all aspects of wellness for them and their families. So thank you for joining me. If you have any other questions, please post them on our Discover Natural Solutions Facebook group page, and we will talk to you next month. Thank you.